All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Jay Banks. It's Tuesday. You know what's cracking.
Yes, sir.
Another day at the levee. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling excited. We're about to talk a little bit of music, so I love to hear it, man. I'm excited to see what these guys got. The levee, man. Though we just had the Small Biz Saturday.
Shop local.
Shop local Saturday.
Small.
Yep, shop small. Which was pretty. It was kind of interesting. I mean, there was a lot of people out trying to check out, looking for deals still, because we had Black Friday, so deals are amongst everything, and then we had Cyber Monday, so we're on the home stretch now, going into the main holiday season where everyone's getting that Christmas shopping started. So we began a little bit to see it this weekend, but I'm excited for this next weekend to see just what happens. Who comes to the levee? Santa's here. They've got a lot going on down here. So get down here and check it out, man.
Yeah, so like we were looking at the numbers, and obviously every year you start panicking, going, "What are we doing wrong?" You know what I mean?
Because the slow season happens right before the busy season.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it was last year. It was like 10 days before Christmas. It was just like every day was a banger, banger, banger. But it's like, you're always worrying up until then, because you're like, "Damn, it's December. I put all this money into making sure the store's stocked and having all this Christmas merch, and then we've got like 10 days left to sell it." And at least last year we were in the playoffs for the Bengals. So January and February were completely different than they've always been. Like January and February is notoriously like the slowest time for shopping. But with the Bengals, bro, we were able to January and February just kept on going like it was December.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the Bengals, obviously this year's very different because of the situation, with Burrow and everything. But at the end of the day, like the Bengals, when they're doing good, no matter what time of the year it is, sales are through the roof because everyone's hyper focused on getting their Bengals merch. We have unique stuff down here, stuff that you can't find anywhere else, so people can get their original stuff here where they can be stand out in the crowd. So I mean, Bengals season, and when they're doing well, I mean the whole city does well. It's a direct impact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, man, let's get to the other side of the table, man. Go ahead and introduce yourselves so that everybody out here knows who we're talking to.
What's going on? I'm Kyle Otto. I'm a music producer out here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I brought my guy YB with me.
What's happening? YB aside?
Yes, sir. And we just saw you guys on Kiss 107 a couple days ago, right? Yeah, dude. So you're out there pushing that music.
Play us. Yeah.
Still gotta play us.
It's a single or a song for the Bengals. He rocked one last year, and so this year we had to come with a little bit harder version. So
that's awesome, bro. And so it's a Bengals theme.
It's a Bengals anthem for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
right? Yeah,
we were just talking about it.
Right, and that's one of those things, man. Like you see a lot of it brings hype to everybody, man. When you have somebody like the Bengals that were doing as well as they are, like everybody gets hyped for it. So musicians are like, "Oh man, let's double down on the Bengals." Like clothing designers, "Hey, let's double down on the Bengals."
Everyone wants to feature Bengal kind of like situation, like feature a line, feature a clothing drop, something that's pulling with it.
Everybody wants to be involved. You know what I mean? It brings that positive energy, and I feel like it makes everybody want to get involved.
For sure, it gives it's relatable, right? It's something that everyone can kind of tap into. So when it comes to producing music, man, like. Where did this start? Was it something, because like for me, like all of this I learned on YouTube, bro. Like I didn't go to school for it. Like everything was kind of just, from the hip. Like when I wanted to add something, I had to YouTube it.
Yeah, man. So I don't want to date myself, but I went to college way back 04, 05 for audio down in Florida, and it's totally different. It was analog boards and you had to solder cables.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 10 different connections. Now everything's a computer. It's in the box. You plug and play. So, it's a different game. But yeah, so I learned on analog gear first.
Yeah,
even tape machines.
So did I, man. And that was I went to school for radio and television at NKU.
Yeah, so you understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually torn between NKU or Ohio State for Broadcasting, whatever that is. Ohio Center for Broadcasting. And they kept chastising me like, "Oh, I heard you're trying to go to NKU. Like they use analog. You don't want to do that." Like, but NKU, actually, to be honest with you, they called me at my work. I was just a server down at Brio, and he called me to chastise me like in the middle of the shift, and I'm like, I'm not going to your college, bro. Like, congratulations. Like, you just solidified my answer by calling me while I'm in the middle of work to chastise me about NKU.
Pushed me the other way.
But at the same
Right.
time, when I got to NKU, reel to reel is, they literally had reel to reel there, and it's like,
If you think back, like if you go back to even like way back to maybe like Elvis times of recording, they would have a whole room of people editing tapes to be able to meet deadlines and things, and it was like you had to fit 16 tracks of instruments on a 2-track tape and condensing the songs down. And now it's, you got a Pro Tools session, you
bro.
just make it happen.
click and paste, click and delete.
Yeah, move the hooks and yeah, it's super easy.
Was it easy for you to adapt when all this new technology was coming in?
It was a slow process for real, and I was working with some people, and they were like, it was like maybe every few months it was like, if you sold this piece of gear, you could get all these digital products.
Right.
And so it was like, a thing like that where, I had a lot of analog gear. Now I just have bare bones my analog gear. Like, I have my MPCs. I got a couple keyboards, like a Phantom and a Triton and things. But other than that, I got rid of most of my analog gear because it's not useless at this point, but my workflow is so much faster digitally that
For sure.
Yeah,
it just,
for sure.
You had to make the switch.
Absolutely. I'm sure clarity comes involved too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Stuff like that.
There's certain, clarity in the box now in the computer is insane. Everything's HD.
It's crazy.
But there's some old machines that you can't replicate the sound that they make. No matter if there could be plug-in emulations all day, but like an 1176 plug-in does not sound like an 1176.
Sure,
Like, it just
right.
doesn't. So
Yeah.
there's like certain pieces of gear that for like my vocal chain and my beat chain and things that I kept,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll use in the box plugins to emulate things that I was doing that I feel like maybe the in the box sounds clearer or better or
Right.
more up to date.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
modern sounding.
No, you're right though, man. A lot of that analog music just has that nostalgic sound to it. Something that you like you said, you can't replicate. You can try to replicate it, digitally, but
it's like digitally. Sometimes it's too clean, if you will, and
It seems fake. It
well,
seems
it's
like they're not real. Like you can't replicate it on a stage.
Your body and your ears don't like perfection when it comes to
Sure.
music and things like that.
Yeah.
The imperfections and things are what makes it sound natural. And so
Sure.
if something sounds too digital, you'll actually like turn off from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so you got to find a happy
The balance,
I feel
yeah.
like.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said, like playing to like a click track,
Yeah.
and, like backtracks,
Or just playing.
comparing like
Yeah.
instead of just playing
Just
like in the soul of it, in the rhythm
Right,
of it.
in the moment.
You know what I mean? Like, some of the best shows I've ever seen where you could definitely tell there wasn't a click, or if there was, they were just so good at faking it that they made it look real.
Right.
It is obviously real. They're playing the guitars and the instruments and the vocals, but like the backtrack really has a
but
huge
a natural
impact.
timing or
Right? Yeah. I mean, you can throw an extra 2
strict
guitars on
timing.
the backtrack and make one guitar sound like 5.
Right,
Really,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. So like, there's just definitely that ability with the backtracks and click tracks. And I mean, I was in a band for quite some time, and we used click tracks, we used in ears, we did everything with
The
that.
great thing about in the box now is, so if you get a great recording, you can use some analog gear and some digital, on your chain. But if you get a great recording, you have unlimited possibilities of what you can do with
Yeah.
that now. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's a cool thing to where, like, if you recorded it on a tape in the past, like, you would have to convert that to a digital file and then try to, manipulate it, then bring it back
Yeah.
in and then time it back all the same. And you just run into a lot of issues to where nowadays I guess it's more open for you to do what you want.
Right. That's so
Find
true.
any sound you
Yeah,
want.
any find you can like
Yeah.
literally. I mean, there's a library
Across
of
the
sounds.
spectrum,
Yeah, man,
yeah,
for sure.
facts.
What would you say, like, when you kind of start the process? At what point do you like, all right, well, we need to go more digital with this, or we need to go more old school? Like, at what point do you kind of feel the artist out, or are you feeling the track out? Like, when do you determine if you're going to go the new school or the
It
old
really,
school way?
Like, if I'm sitting down and I'm gonna make a beat, like it's just me in the dungeon in the lab by myself, I'm probably gonna start with a sample or a record or something. I like the old school sound. I like to at least start there.
Mhm.
But that also takes a long time. You got to go through records and you got to move your needle
Yep.
and you got to find your spot. Then you got to
Right.
clean the record up, chop it, put it in your beat machine, arrange it right to where like if we're in the studio and maybe we only got a 2-hour session, but we want to knock out 2 songs, I'll maybe start with a sound digitally on the keyboard, something I can come up with quick, and I'll also go with the vibe. If an artist is in the studio, like say, he'll come in and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm feeling aggressive today. I want to rap today." Yeah, he'll be like, "I want to rap today, Otto. I don't want to sing." You know what I mean? Then I know I'm gonna go to an aggressive sound, so I might hit the keys or something with some more 808s in it, and then I just build. It's like whatever the inspiration starts us at.
Yeah.
It's like whatever we get a head nod to. If it might
For
be
sure.
a drum or it might be a guitar, it might be a piano, but whatever that is, we'll vibe to it, and once it gets going,
It's a feel thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you're
sure,
feeling it out.
for sure.
And that process that you just described to us, it's like without that process and that whole all the steps to build it, that makes you. You know what I mean, that puts the originality behind the music and as the producer and the artist. Because the producer is an artist. I mean, they are an artist. They're just the artist with a lot of times no face. They just are a name, whatever. But like the artistry behind that is what separates. That separates from you than someone else just using Fruity Loops and doing it in their garage or their closet. Even though you can get far with it, it's just
the cool thing
it's a different
now
level.
Is you can do Fruity Loops in the garage and you can make a hit nowadays, but you just have to sonically and I feel like be aware, I guess, of the sonics and the emotion you're trying to portray in the track. Like everything's got to hit right for a hit to translate.
That comes with experience, I would say mostly.
Yeah,
it's mostly, I would say, mostly
for
experience
sure.
on that because like if you're new in Fruity Loops and you're doing that and you're Pro Tools or whatever you're using and you're new to it, it's hard to create a piece of art that's going to translate to the masses because you got to feel out how you've done to this point and trim the fat.
You can feel a guitar, you can strum it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You can hear the notes.
Yeah.
In a piano, you can do that. On a digital platform, it's almost like you have to learn to feel it. You know what I mean? It's like a different instrument, but it's not physical. It is physical in the sense that you can hear it, but you're clicking, you're arranging with your fingertip on a computer touchscreen, not actually strumming the guitar. You know what I mean? So once you get the workflow, I feel like of a digital workflow down, then you can start to translate those ideas from your head to the computer, to the ears of everybody in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Faster than if you're learning the software and doing that at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
We used to
Stuff.
drum build. Drum building was like a big part of like when we were in the studio. Like we had a pretty like in the band that I had performed in and did for years was like my brainchild baby that I put everything into. But my drummer, he was a G, man. This kid like he got signed to Berkeley School of Music at a young age.
That's a great school.
Chose not to go because he wanted to tour.
Oh,
He was
no.
young,
Well,
touring in these bands. They would pick him up from Texas,
I mean,
take
when
him
you
around.
hear tour and you're young, you're like, oh, yeah,
Oh, he
let's
went.
go.
He went. I remember
He's
seeing.
like,
I remember seeing the acceptance letter, and I'm like, and we were doing this metal band on his side. We were a side project for him, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Because he was just turning 18. I was like, that's awesome. Like, that's great. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna go. I think he's gonna keep touring. And I'm like, he's like, I might as well. I can. And he lived with his grandparents, so like they were all fine with it. But like, I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like, all right, dude, do your thing, man. I can't stop you. And I mean, he's still playing drums. I mean, he's doing his thing. But at the time, like, he was just such a talent. So when we got into we started making songs we separated, we brought back, we came back and forth over the years. And we finally got this band, and then we got in the studio of doing the full digital because he had always done live drums for his recordings for a long time. And it was time to do the digital and time to doing the same thing on the screen. And we had to sit down, and he's like, man, no, because it had the flow.
You know
the
what I mean?
flow's
You got a
hard.
grid that's exact.
Yeah.
But when you're playing drums, there ain't nothing exact, you know what I mean, about it. You're close to being on every time. You're close enough that it sounds somewhat as exact. You nod your head to it, but if you actually click everything to the grid, then it's super exact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's clear. But it's also like you got to not take away the feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're putting
that's
when you're putting like hi-hat sounds and you're putting snare sounds, like different parts of where you're hitting the snare drum, like resonates differently. So if you're on the outer rim and then you're in, like there's different aspects.
it sounds
And like when we were
looser or
talking,
tighter.
me and him were like going sitting down with our producer, and he's like, man, I hit rim shots here, man. I'm doing that, not that. And so we had to like really break down what he was trying to do. And like the drums, to build the drums, us three would sit down for like probably 6 hours. 6 hours to get these drums right, because it was like full song, we wanted to be perfect, and he was a perfectionist himself, and like at that point we were like, he was mid 20s, so like he had grown since 17-year-old, like assistant managing at a McDonald's, like doing his thing and like just playing drums, but like he'd grown up and he was like a professional drummer, like he's full on, like he like did the whole thing, and he's got a pretty solid resume, but like when it came down to the building the drums, he's like, man, this is so much different than it took a while, but we got through the whole EP, and now I'm sure he's got it now. He's building his own drums, like in this day and age. But like then it was such a transition, because the producer's like, this is the way, this is how we're gonna do this, like this is the future, guys, like this is what all the industry's doing, because he had already got done touring through the industry, so he had seen it, and we were kind of learning. It was like weird. It was like 2014 2015 era, so like it was still like analog and all that was still really prevalent, but it was a new age that was upon us.
Meme, and it's a kid in front of a soundboard, and it says uses $20,000 in mics to record drums, then replaces all the drum sounds with slate, drum trigger, and post, so they all use digital sounds anyway. So it's like you get the timing of the live, but you'll use the digital sample to actually trigger it nowadays, and a lot of stuff.
We do,
It's like it'll make all the sounds perfect, but they'll be timed as like where you played it. You know what I mean? So it'll be a little bit off, or have a groove that's a little different, but that's what gives you the pull of the song, the push and pull, and the head nod of the song. You know?
Timed bass drops, stuff like that. That was always any 808s that we'd put in certain parts. Like
we do drops all over the songs. It's like the last thing we do, we get the song all done, and then with the vocals on it, it's where we putting the drops at.
Yeah, we were a metal band, so our drops came at the beginning of breakdowns. They came
Taco Bell over there on top of the DTG.
They came at certain parts when there was like hot peaks and whatever, like where rap and hip hop, and where you need that to bounce in the car the whole time. You don't want a dead space there, but in the metal world, it's like, well, this is the time for us to go hard, and that's when you put the bass. That's when all of a sudden it's burn. But it was so impactful because you wait for that moment. Like you listen to 2 minutes of the song to get to that point, and you're waiting for that bass drop, so it gets you to listen to the whole track anyways. Like you're getting through it, and obviously the bass is in there too. But like a lot of bass in that industry is a lot of like the strings are a little looser, so it has kind of a slap feel, even though they're on using a pick. So it's kind of that. It's like it's a different world, but it's all used through the same systems, the same Pro Tools and the same different softwares using the same industries. It's just how you use it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got a question real quick.
Sure.
So like Jack Harlow's new song "Lovin' on Me," right?
Yeah.
It's already #1 on the billboards. It surpassed Taylor Swift.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jack
But-
crazy.
Bro,
Yeah,
he's
we just saw
he's
him.
crazy. So so the
He was just
song
here.
the song though,
At NKU.
Oh yeah.
Northern
yeah,
Kentucky,
he
yeah.
was,
and he actually posted a screenshot of him and Oz Music. Oz Music is the guy that made the beat for "Lovin' on Me," but it was he named it "Whip Your Lovin'" because he was the one that was singing that "Whip Your Lovin' on Me, baby."
Oh, okay.
And so he sent that to Jack, and he said "Heater," and then Jack said, "Whoa, don't send that to his soul. I'm going in on that." So like I mean, for somebody like you, right? Because I don't know who Oz Music is. And obviously, he's fire because the song alone, even if it was just the beat, like I'm sure there's a ton of people that want to go in on that beat alone. But now this dude's got a #1 billboard, right? Like
Just like that.
like that, like out of nowhere, just because he's homies with Jack Harlow and sent that to him. So it is like something like that's obviously always on your radar. But like what happens at that moment that somebody like Oz Music gives Jack Harlow the beat, and then he drops something. I mean, obviously it's all in Jack Harlow's hands. So now, Oz has to make sure that Jack doesn't fuck him over, right? But
See, I would imagine like once you send the track over, and once they like confirm they're gonna use it, you know what I mean? It's up in the air until it hits wax, until
Right.
it's like said, done, mastered. Then they would probably send a copy back over to him with what's called split sheets, and that's making sure everybody's like distribution and your BMI, ASCAP, your royalties, and all that line up to
For
you.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it drops, and let's see what happens. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, that song's incredible, bro. And like my dad's always told me, he's like, if you want to know if a song is good or not, put it in front of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like, because a 2-year-old has no biased opinion. The only thing that 2-year-old knows is how that song's making him feel,
Yeah,
right? Like he can't understand the words,
All off
can't
of
understand the
feeling.
lyrics.
Yeah.
It's how he makes himself feel. He's like, so if you want to put out a good
I've
song,
never heard that, but that's
it
pretty
makes
cool,
sense, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think
Yeah.
that, like, put that in front of a 2 or 3-year-old and see if they
Yeah,
start
right.
doing
And
that.
if they vibe to it, then,
Yeah.
then, you
Then
might
you're
have a
onto
hit on
something
your hands.
because
All right.
you're hitting that hitting that nerve of the
like
human
that
body.
Natural vibe.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, my dad was full of knowledge, dude. He was one of those guys that was always like, he would steer me in the right direction, and then he would let me fail, and he'd be like, "Well, you should have done this." It's like, why didn't you tell me, bro?
Learning moment, right?
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes you
dope.
gotta fall on your
That's
face to learn, man. You gotta learn for the hard way.
dope. No,
But
that's
those L's
life.
are learning,
That's
bro.
life, yeah.
And it's life.
That's how knowledge sticks with you, right?
For sure.
Life hits you hard. You don't forget that.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, speaking of that, bro, you just had like an immediate triple bypass
Yeah.
heart surgery
Yeah,
that, like,
definitely
Oh,
and this
wow.
was something that was, you've had issues with the heart before, right?
Yeah, so like I have a couple, I guess, genetic diseases you'll call, and most people's body makes like cholesterol when you eat bad foods and this and that. Well, my body is calcium deficient, and my body just makes extra cholesterol and bad stuff. So I'm on medicine, and I've had about 11 surgeries in the past 15 years or so.
Damn.
Wow.
But this last one was a big one. Yeah,
It was like 50-50 or something that you were going to make it
Yeah,
out
was-
of it.
It was some
Shit,
bad
felt like
odds,
70,
but
30,
thank
bro.
God, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm going to keep saying that because I feel like faith had a lot to do with that because it wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
But they also the surgeon, Dr. Merle down at Kettering, awesome dude, and their whole team took care of me. But yeah, they had to take my heart totally out of my body. They took veins from different parts of my body. I got some pretty gnarly
Oh
scars,
wow,
if you can
dude.
see that.
That's a dope
Yeah,
scar though.
right.
That's the fact that incision is so perfectly straight.
Man, right,
I'm
like
kind of here
laser-
for it.
laser
Let me see
shot.
bro. I ain't even got to see it.
Straight down. So
So
I was
they-
talking to my tattoo guy. I was like, we're gonna have to do something cool with this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Something to remember. I got one right here. I also got one down my leg too.
So they were pulling veins out to.
So I have good veins in there. They just had to find them.
All right.
And then they cracked me open, broke my sternum and ribs, took my heart out, took the good veins, took out the bad veins, I guess. I've also got 6 stents in there too.
Holy
So they
cow!
had to work around those and then put me back together.
Damn.
It was right
So-
around Halloween, so the joke was I was gonna be Frankenstein
Right.
and let people guess which scars was real and which ones I added. You know what
Oh,
I
that's
mean?
that's
But-
funny. So I had a pretty major surgery where they had to take my intestines out of my stomach.
Oh wow, yeah.
And the one thing I said was like, bro, please take a photo. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, just take a
yeah.
picture and just because like I told him, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm super jealous that you get to see my insides and like those are
Yeah.
mine, bro. Like
Yeah.
You're gonna
I've
be
held
out,
them for a
yeah,
long
like, so
time
you
and I don't
right.
even get to see them. So
Right.
like, just take a photo for me. Didn't take a photo. Did you ask for a photo? Like,
So I got like before and after photos, and I don't know if I'm gonna release them. I look pretty bad. On the
Bro, I
after
would've-
I'm out of it.
I would have
I,
I would have been begging that doctor, like, please
I
just
tried to rip
hold
the,
that heart in
for
your
real.
hand like
Yeah.
like Mortal Kombat
Be
right
like
over my
Indiana-
body.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat, or even better, Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, bro.
Oh yeah.
Put it in a little doggy bag for you. Yeah, dude. But no, but seriously, man, I'm happy that you're okay because that was,
I appreciate
you know,
that.
like
Thank
you and I have been Facebook friends for a long time, and I see
Sure.
everything that happens in your life, and you know, that was like, you were like, holy shit, bro, I gotta go to surgery tomorrow.
Man, so I guess it was 4 months ago, I had 2 smaller surgeries where they went through my arm and my leg, and they had fixed a couple of my stents. And I was feeling great. Everything was normal. And then one day I woke up and it wasn't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I was walking my dog, and he's a big bully pit, and he was like manhandling me, and I was like, this ain't right. Like I should be able to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went to the hospital, to the ER, and by the time I got there, I couldn't even walk to the restroom and back without like holding on to something. I couldn't breathe.
What did it just feel like
And-
somebody was like sitting on your chest?
Yeah, it wasn't like pain like you would think of about pain, but it was a pain is like
Shortness of
you
breath.
couldn't get a full breath to save your life, and when you did get one, it hurt. Like,
It's-
that's when it hurt. Like it was
Right.
like, what is this?
And that's panic mode, bro. When you can't get a
In your
deep breath
head,
in.
Yeah, it's like I was rushing, and yeah, so I talked to the doctors, and they ran a couple tests, and they was like, "Oh, you got to go now." And so they took me down to Dayton because I was at Fort Hamilton, and yeah, they sent me down to Dayton, which is a lot larger facility, and they have heart surgeons and a great cardiology team down there. So yeah,
Obviously, yeah. If you had 50-50 chances, bro, and you're here on the podcast a
Yeah.
month later.
again, thank God.
Man,
Yeah.
bless.
And see, right? And man, seriously. So, like, is your outlook on life completely different? Like,
Man, I've always been a positive person, but things like that definitely make things different. You have to look at things different. Like, you know, you want to start doing everything correctly. Like, all right, the doctor said do this, do this, do this. So, of course, you're in that mode. But, I mean, mentally it's like I got a second chance. And there's some things I feel like in my life that fear and things might have held me back from
mhm.
that I'm not going to let it hold me back no more. Like, I just literally
Yeah.
looked at death and I came back and I'm like, all right, I'm here for a reason now, so I gotta make it shake. I got something to prove.
Hell yeah,
He
man.
told me that right after surgery, bro. He like,
Yeah.
man, we getting to it. As soon as I get home,
Straight
bro,
up.
we getting to it.
First song we made, we was on Kiss a couple days
Got us
later.
on Kiss.
That
Yeah,
is
just
fire.
boom,
He
boom,
told me,
right out the
bro.
hospital bed. So
I still got the
Yeah.
tape. He was
That's
hype.
awesome,
it was
man.
live.
So, and when it, like, I've noticed that you keep saying, like, thank God, right?
For sure.
Did you have a big belief in God before, or is
I've
it
always-
strengthened
you know,
now?
I always believed in a creator, but it's just when you're in a situation that there's no hope, and all of a sudden you have it, and you have strength, and it's not coming from you. You know what I mean?
Gotta
Like
come
you're
from
you're
somewhere.
done, and I call that God, and I thank God because
There's something out there, bro.
Going, man. You know
There's
what I mean? Like,
there's something out there, man. I don't know if he's a white guy with a beard, black dude with a beard,
nah,
an
I think
alien.
we got all that wrong, but whatever it is, it's positive and it's there for us, and it'll take care of us if we let it.
Yeah,
That's how I
100%,
look
man.
at it.
It's
Yeah.
everything about us. It is too strange, right? Like the fact that you can cut yourself and your
Yeah.
body heals itself, dude. Like,
Man.
the human body's amazing, man. And the fact that
Literally, like 35 days ago, I had 4 tubes coming out of me. I got major scars here, here, and here, and they didn't look like they would ever heal. And now it's like
Ain't
my
even
body
there no
just
more.
taking care of it. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy,
Like,
bro.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Superhuman, bro.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are super.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
we just don't realize it, man.
Yeah,
we're
until
thinking
we're in a
and
situation to be.
everybody thinks they're
superhuman,
weak
you know what I mean?
until you're you're
Yeah, you
pressed
don't
up
have
against
to- you don't
that
have a
wall.
choice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Well, I'm proud of you and I'm happy for you,
I
man,
thank
because
you
I
for
can.
that, man. I appreciate
I like I said, I've seen your journey for a long time. I know that you've been, ever since Auto Labs back in Covington,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
and that was, you had that going for a long time.
Yeah, that was. What was that about? Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When I was that brand or going by that brand. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of wild because that was, and I don't know if you know about this, but so he had Auto Labs and it was in Covington. It was. What street was it on? It was right there by.
It was Madison Avenue, and I think the cross street was 7th Street.
Yeah, so it was right there, and
Okay. Right in the heart of it.
right in the
It was
heart
right
of it.
across from Madison Theater. And that
Yeah.
was, why I wanted to be there.
Cool.
Yeah, and then
I work at Madison Theater.
Okay,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
promoter there. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Braxton came out with the Braxton Lab, and
Man.
like on the same block,
I was
right?
beefing with them for a minute for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it? Can we talk about that? Is that
Yeah, we
something
could
that's
talk
cool?
about it. I'm not.
I mean,
salty anymore,
obviously,
but-
like when it comes to names and stuff like that, like there's trademarks and things that people have to obey by. But when it comes to like a beer company and then a production company, like it's two different lanes. Just the same thing with Native and Native deodorant, right? Like, Native deodorant came out way after we did, and people are coming up to me going, "Damn, bro, like, why are you selling $12 deodorant?" It's like, bro, I wish I was selling $12 deodorant.
Right.
I'm not allowed to sell deodorant. They're not allowed to sell T-shirts, bro. Like that's that's the name of the game.
So
but
that came about. Like I was mad that they had. So they were right around the corner. They came in a couple years after I was already there. And, you're trying to establish a brand when you're
and you were pushing it hard. You were pushing the lab hard.
And it was like their logo with the beakers, it was the only difference was that mine had music notes. But I drew mine, out to be this way.
Right.
I worked with a graphic designer and things and had everything copywritten and trademarked the way it should be. And they're right on the corner, 2 buildings down. And all of a sudden they start pushing that and plastered the cars and everything around there with flyers and all this. And I had people like coming up to me like, "Oh, you're doing a collab with them," and da da. And I'm like, "No," but the thing was they came to my studio like maybe a week or 2 before they launched that and asked if we were still open. And I was like, "Yeah, we're still open." Like you walked in the door, I didn't know who it was, but I seen their shirts. And it was like Braxton Brewery or whatever. And I was like, "Is there a reason that you just came in and asked, well, are you still open?" And they were like, "Oh, no reason, we were just checking." So they knew kind of like that there was going to be an issue like with it in the first place, I felt like. So that's kind of why I had the beef. But that's a long time ago, long gone. But
for sure,
it definitely was a little issue for the moment.
Dude, it happened to me too, man. So before I had Native here on the levee, the store was in Dayton, Kentucky, like a mile and a half from here.
Okay.
And so obviously the Native brand is our clothing brand, and we've been out, fucking
9-10 years.
10 years now, yeah.
Wow.
So, but there was another clothing brand that moved to the same street in Dayton, Kentucky, and they named their clothing brand the Native One. Yeah, bro.
So
and it was a disaster, bro. My clothes were getting sent to their store, like you know what I mean? It was the same street and everything, right?
Yeah,
and it's just like, what are you doing, dude? The Native One, like, I've got,
because you try to be creative and original, and then when somebody blatantly somebody
sees it and they go, "Oh, I like that idea. I can make it. I can do it."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's like, bro, I've got the word Native trademarked. I've got all area codes trademarked in apparel, right? So like, the one good thing I did in the beginning was I protected myself. I got picked up by Procter and Gamble, so I was able to use Dinsmore, their law firm, to trademark everything like right away, like just to solidify all that shit. But at the end of the day, I still don't go after people and try to sue people for dumb shit like that.
I'm not in the business to sue people. You know what I mean?
Right,
I just want to make records and have fun with what I do. So that was something that like I hate any type of legal battle or anything that's going to draw me away from what I do.
100%.
I'm a creative, and so my favorite things to do are like I'm either by myself thinking somewhere, like it could be fishing or taking a long drive with my dog or something, or I'm in the studio creating. Like I don't think about any other things, aspects of life.
Right.
Like, it's almost like life has to like tap me on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, like you gotta
eat.
You gotta renew your tags."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Shit, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But it's like I'm just in creative mode, and I don't like to be pulled from that, and things like that pull me from that and put me in a headspace and energy that's not creative and positive.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I know.
"Oh, I gotta deal with that." Like, it's just such a drag.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man, because like you just want that positive, like happy-go-lucky mindset, right? And like
Good
as
vibes.
soon as somebody throws something in, like even for us, man, like if I've got an online order that hasn't gone out yet, or I can't find the hoodie that we need to produce it, it's like that shit weighs on my mind, bro. Like, and it's even though it's only one order for one person, it's like that shit weighs on my mind. So it's like any confrontation, I'm just like, dude, hands up. It's like my well-being is worth more than that headache, right? And so it's like I can either consume myself in this argument, or I
or
can
I
just
could be creating and doing something positive with my time.
100%, bro.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where I like to be. I like to be on that end of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and you don't like any drama, bro, because any drama, it just fills the headspace with stuff that you don't need.
it takes away from
Creativity.
time and energy, and I mean, more now than ever, I realize how precious time and energy are when,
Yeah.
you know, my heart was ripped out of my body. I could have been gone. So it's like, I don't have time or energy for negativity or for those things.
For
you know
sure,
what I mean?
bro.
Like, I just won't deal with it now. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I won't deal with it at all.
Yeah. And you know what I do love, man? the logo, Dark Heart Records, right?
Yeah.
The logo's fire, but when you text me earlier and you sent me the heart emoji that was bandaged up through the iPhone, that type of shit is so smart, bro. Like I kept telling Andrew, like, probably 3-4 years ago, it's like, man, I wish I would have done the native logo. So that logo is actually the font from East Bay.
Oh yeah.
Like way back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So
I remember the East Bay catalog.
Yeah.
but I like 4 years ago, I was like, damn, I really wish I would have done the logo with Apple's font, right? Because whenever any time that I send native in all capital letters through the iPhone, it's going to look like my logo, right? So the fact that you've got that little heart logo that's already wrapped up, it's like it's a little bonus to the brand, dude. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
it's dope, bro.
So
it's
that
dope.
logo came about when so I had the name in my head, but I wanted to play off of kind of me having heart issues, and
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, the underdogs get kicked around some and got to fight, and so I sketched that out, and then I sent it to a couple graphic designers, and when I got that particular one back, I was like, this is the
Let's
logo.
go.
Like, yeah, I was like, this one looks great. This is just what I had in my head, and we had a conversation earlier, and I said sometimes you got to let the experts be the expert.
Oh yeah.
And that's in that situation. Like, I didn't want to nitpick or nothing. I sent it to a few different people and was like, see what I get back. And when I got that one, I was like, yeah, that was an expert being an expert.
Man, you know what? Speaking of that, dude, like, so a couple weeks ago we had on the producer of this movie called The Private Eye, which is Matt Rife's new movie.
He's a comedian from here, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
So we're printing his merch for that movie.
That's awesome.
And the movie poster's fire, bro. Like it was done by the guy that did the Indiana Jones movie posters.
Okay. Yeah.
He did Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so he's got like some crazy artistic skills. But the producer Jack showed us the original sketch that he sent the guy, and it was a circle with a line down the middle, and then it was a stick figure. So it was basically a person with half face, and then he drew like a little stick figure up here, a little stick figure over here, and then that's it, bro. It was like literally, it would have taken him 5 seconds to draw this thing. The image he gets back is a full drawn pencil sketch that was incredible. And then he was like, he wrote him back and said, perfect, just add this, add that.
Right.
And then came back, and it's like this elaborate, like it's got like 15 people in the cast, and they're inside like a video store. The whole thing's completely fire, bro. And he did it with colored pencils.
Yeah.
So like the image that I got, like, you know, you can zoom in, and it looks like a photo of Matt Rife, but when you zoom in, you can see that he put little pencil marks for little for the pores on his skin. Like, this dude is incredible, bro. Yeah, Steve Charney's his name, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, it was, the artwork is top tier. Like, seriously, like when I first saw it, I didn't even realize it was pencil. I didn't know any of that until they explained it. I was like, what? He
The
did
before
that?
and after, bro. It's just,
Dude, yeah, when he told that story, I'm like, that is, because the image he showed us, like the original like sketch was, I mean, my daughter is 4, and she's getting to the point where she could do the sketches on like that kind of a level of just like the easy, like just easy stick characters. This is all it is.
no eyeballs, no
eyeballs,
face,
nothing. And
no
the
hair.
guy, the image that came back looked like, I mean, like you would expect from like a Paramount or some high-leveled major movie come back with, because that's the quality they got, and that's the talent out there that is sitting in some room right now drawing up his next thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty amazing. Like, there's been a few stories that on the podcast over the years that have like really got me, but that one was like, dude, how did he even translate that to see that image, to put that together?
It was
phenomenal. Like whoever that, like all his time and effort man, like
Leave it to the professionals, bro. Like you said, just
Experts,
like,
bro, to the
leave it
experts.
to them.
Masters of
yeah,
their
for real, it
crafts.
was amazing. I was pretty impressed. And a lot of times, like, you know, people will tell us, like, yeah, that's cool, like, whatever. But then when you actually see in real time the first image versus the final, and like
Oh,
you showed,
yeah.
that's like your eyes just can't
Yeah,
compute.
eye-opening, yeah.
The math ain't math, and it's like, how is he doing this? So it's pretty
I'm
amazing.
working on. I wanna. You said that like start to finish. I'm working on getting together with the new spot a way to record start to finish like different angles in the lab of like say us creating a song from scratch and
Mhm.
things like that. I feel like that'd be really dope for people to see because we work
The
pretty
process?
fast.
Yeah.
The whole
Quick,
process.
quick,
Yeah.
quick.
Like, I mean, we've literally had whole songs done, ready to mix down in 30, 40 minutes before
Yeah.
just
That's dope,
with
dude.
no beat,
work.
just a snap of the finger at first. Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm feeling
You definitely
like
need
this,
to capture
you know?
that, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that I need to be more aware of and get more into for content. I feel like there's a lot of people out here that watch what we're doing, but they see the end result and they see the pictures of us in the stew, right? But that whole process is just
Yeah.
left out. You know what I mean?
Which is the best
process-
part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The process is really what comes down to, and really will put you to the next level. Because when
Sure,
they do
sure.
see on like a humanistic, like on the ground level of doing the work, then all of a sudden that level of respect is heightened, right? And
Facts,
so that when
yeah.
that's heightened respect, then now they have to tell their boy, they're like there's more for them to promote because
Yeah.
they're seeing it. Like they see what they're doing. They're not just they didn't fake it. There's no faking. This is
Right,
real.
yeah, yeah.
And like because you know we're living in the era of AI now, you know, and production
Man,
is
there's
changing.
I heard a Kanye song that's not
Yeah.
a Kanye song. Like, and I heard
Right.
my dude posted the other day a Lantana song with Kanye's voice. Like, then they had AI put Kanye over Lantana, and it sounded like a Kanye record. I'm like,
Right.
ain't no way. But
That's where we're at. That's
Yeah.
where we're at. So when people are seeing the base level of it and seeing the process of what's going on, and when you start even the process of how do we even get from
is that
this
gonna
line
be
to
the
that?
new, like,
Yeah.
analog to digital though? You know what I mean? Like non-AI is
Sure.
gonna be the analog, and AI is gonna be the digital.
Right.
But, like, is that where we're headed to?
It-
You
we
know,
are.
like,
Nah, bro,
AI
you ain't gonna
helping
need me no
everything?
more.
So there's something going on.
We're heading there
Like, I
fast.
just need you to say 20 words for me,
Yeah,
and my
but they
computer's
ain't
gonna
gonna need
emulate
me
the
no more,
rest.
bro.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, that's
this
real.
might be where we're headed. I don't know.
I mean, you know, there's got to be a music producer out there that's trying to be the first one to make that happen, right? You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
oh, yeah.
somebody's out there trying to.
Oh,
Someone
they're
trying to
doing
figure
it
it
for
out.
sure. For sure.
So that Grammy song, the Weeknd and Drake, that's not going to be that's not an officially Grammy nominated song anymore, right?
Because it's
Did we establish that last time on the podcast?
What happened?
There's a Drake Weeknd song that was done through AI that was submitted to the Grammys and it was accepted to win a Grammy. And if
See,
it's-
that makes me question too, because Busta Rhymes just dropped the album, right? And it's weird to hear that name dropping.
yeah, bro,
But yeah, so he just dropped the album.
I'm
right?
bummed I didn't know about it, man.
And,
He's fucking incredible,
Yeah,
dude.
it just dropped, but the whole thing is mastered by AI at Lander, right?
Mhm.
And Lander is like a program. If you're an audio or music guy, you know, like they promote heavy on like you send them your song and they'll master it down for you or whatever. But now they use AI, and AI had mastered his whole album. So I'm wondering now. I haven't really listened to it technically for like the LUFS where it's reading out on the meters or like how it looks on the meters or anything, but I want to check that out now and see if AI is like more accurate, if it's less accurate, if it's got tighter mixes or not. Those are things that, like, as an audio guy and a music producer, like, you're gonna look for in human mixes. So maybe see how that translates AI to. You know,
Yeah, for sure, man. I
I
mean,
wonder how
you
that
know,
translates to sales too. If people are liking the record and buying it, or if,
right.
you know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's going to come down to is the it all falls back on the beat, bro. The beat's got to be good, you know what I mean, and then everything else
Production is-
follows. Yeah.
yeah.
But have you heard the new Andre 3000 album?
So I listened briefly to it when I was fishing the other day, and then my AirPods battery died, so that sucked. But I did want to sample part of it, but then I just did a quick search on YouTube, and There's a lot of people sampling that.
Oh,
right
really?
Now. Yeah. Or maybe they're trying to capitalize off of like the hype of it being a new record. And,
Right.
You know what I mean? Dropping, but I did hear some sampleable parts. It's a real mellow.
It's super mellow, bro.
sound,
So you know what, man? Like A Hunt, the guy that popped in a little bit ago, he was the one that told us that the whole album was done at 432 hertz.
Yeah.
Right, which is like the that's a certain hertz that gives
like
you
the
the
healing hertz.
yeah, it gives you it opens your mind, gives you better dreams, shit like that. So actually, I listened to the album like when I was in bed going to sleep. That whole album, bro, is like you can listen to it and fall asleep to it because it's just so mellow and so
Super mellow.
yeah. But it's like
calming.
a lot of people are like chastising Andre, right? Because he's not rapping, but he's like he's always
He was
been
honest with it though.
yeah,
Like,
bro, and he's
with
always
his
been
response to that.
15 years ahead of the game, bro.
Yeah.
So like, he's doing
Right.
something that in 10 years we'll be busting out 432 hertz like it's nothing, right?
Yeah.
But right now
Every
everyone's
beat will be
clowning him,
Pitch to that. Have to pitch my auto tune to that and everything.
right?
That's,
But that's just one of those things, bro. Like you don't know until you know. It's like somebody's out there thinking 10 steps ahead.
right.
It's just like
that's
Kanye,
facts.
bro. When 808s and Heartbeats came out, like a lot of people didn't like that album, right?
Yeah, and that's a classic album.
Yeah.
That's
It's ridiculous,
a super
bro.
Classic album.
But when it came out, like the beats,
Right.
the people weren't fucking. It wasn't normal to anybody. It was so
Right, yeah.
different. But
Too many 808s.
yeah. And then I just saw a video the other day of Kanye where he was wearing his old Kanye outfit and he walks up to the piano and just taps one little
Crazy.
key
They went
and then
crazy.
Yeah,
they went
that
crazy
it's
and
that
he ran
Runaway
away.
joint.
He
It's
ran
the
away and
the
it's like
Runaway song.
the fact that he can just hit one key on the board and everybody knows
Stadium.
that
goes
song.
wild.
Yeah.
yeah.
Goes
He's
right
just
to it.
again, bro, like people didn't like that music when it first came out. You have to listen to it 10 to 12 times before you go, oh, okay, I get it.
Facts. I listen to stuff when I sit down that like, all right, I'm gonna listen to an album. So like the Busta Rhymes album, when I actually listen to it, I'll listen to it one time just through as like entertainment value of me just vibing to it,
Yeah,
doing whatever.
it's
I'm doing.
Busta, bro. It's got to be good.
Then I'm gonna listen to it like technically, like, all right, what's he saying? What's he really saying? Because with Busta or somebody that raps like that, the bars are gonna probably go over your head. Some of them.
Oh, yeah.
At first, you gotta give it a second
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
Then I'm listening sonically, like how is it sounding? What does it look like on my master meters? And it's almost it's a pride ego thing too. Like, are my mixes hitting like this?
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Of
Like,
course.
Like you want
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
test everything. So it's like then there's that aspect of it, and then I'll give it a do I like this or not at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I
Did
feel
you like it?
I like what he's doing. I seen a lot of hate online, but I mean, like, there's growth and things change, and I feel like a lot of the hate was people wanting the same old Busta Rhymes, but it's like it's 2023, man. You're not
Right.
gonna get Busta Rhymes from '93.
Yeah, you already
know
have
what
that.
I'm saying? Like,
You already
yeah.
have that.
Yeah, you got a bunch of records for with
You
that.
already
know
got
what I mean?
that, right.
So, but
Right. I think growth's important. I think music progresses naturally, and the industry shifts, and it's ahead of the listeners. So
yeah,
like,
it
because the
definitely
internet,
is.
it's ahead.
And-
So like,
and
they're gonna put
music's
stuff.
subjective, man.
It is subjective.
So like, just because I like a record, don't mean he's gonna like a record, but you know what I mean? It's still gonna sell because there's a million people that like what I like, and there's
Yeah.
a million people that like what he likes, and 5 million that like what you like, and so it all balances out. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like,
it does.
I remember so many people when like Young Thug came out. Everybody's like, nah, man, I can't get with this stuff. I can't.
Yeah.
And then for years, it's like all I heard these same people listening later. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And playing in their cars, like, come on,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
your
just
way.
Yeah.
you just gotta embrace change sometimes. you
For
know?
sure. All right, YB, man, tell me your
Family.
story, bro.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah,
I met Otto a while ago, man, like years ago, recording, and then we just linked back up, and probably 6 months ago, something like
Yeah.
that, like 6 months ago.
New to
Yeah,
it, really,
been
really.
like it been like 2 years, 3 years
Okay.
since we recorded anything together.
Okay.
So like
Right
with
back to
him,
it.
yeah, it got right back to it. Like it never, you know what I mean? I hit him one day, like, yo, we need to get back in there. We did. Once we got back in there, it was just, everything from then, bro. Like we never, it's like we didn't skip a beat. You know what I mean? Like we not seen each other for so long. So like it come different with us because that's my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
You just pick up where you left off, for sure.
Yeah, it's really my brother. So it's like, it's deeper than just music with us. And then, like he said, just the stuff with his heart, it came out of nowhere. So, like, when he finding out, we finding out. So it's like, we had just recorded the tape that we was working on, Automatic. Like, we had just recorded that and, you know, just dropped it. But then it was like, he got hit with this out of nowhere. So it's like, we kind of sidelined for a minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
your team here. You're a team, man.
So, like,
he's down, you're down.
Yeah, exactly,
what I mean?
bro. So, you know, it was scary for a little bit, man. But, you know, he told me after his surgery, like I said earlier, like, as soon as I get back, we're gonna make some shake. So we did that, man. First song that we did when we came out got us on, like I said, got us on Kiss 107. So here we are now. Let us to you guys, and you know, hopefully it leads us more. So
literally the
keep
first
pushing.
song, like right out, left the hospital, touchdown, and then there was like 3 days or whatever, then I can move around. Yeah. And it was like the 4th day we was in the studio. I was like, there, bro, I can't wait no more. Like, I was probably against my doctor's wishes, but I couldn't wait. I was like, man, I got to get in the lab. I've been in the hospital for like 3 weeks.
Right.
I was like, man, I got to go.
But your mental health is a huge component to probably to everything, right? Man. Especially, I mean, with where you're at, like the recovery in your head. Like, if your zone is over here and you need to just get to your zone to get that right, like it's probably better for you, even though physically you may not be able to move the same, right? But like your head space, what you're doing is a lot of head. Like you're literally in your head rather than doing physical labor, because that's what your mind's doing everything. So and you just have to click a button. You know what I mean? Like we talked about earlier, you don't have to do the analog. You got the digital now. If you got the time, you got the patience, you got the gear, you're good. So when that happened, like, you were like so close yet so far away from like the goal, even though you and that
I knew. I was like,
resilience,
what
man.
I do isn't really physically demanding, so it's like, all right, I can get in there, we can create, and that's all I wanted to do was just create. And then it was like, he was like, man, I'm thinking about doing another Bengals joint. And so I sampled his original one in this beat, as I was vibing to it, and I played it a couple times, and I was like, I bet I could take the lyrics from this. We can flip it to this, and then that's where I got the idea. And then
I didn't even hear it till I pulled up. Like, he
sent
it to me.
He had texted me and said he's on the way, and then I started listening to the old joint. And by the time he got there, I
walked in like he's playing it. When I walked in, I'm like, this it, bro. Like, let me punch me in. You know
okay.
I just hooked the mic up.
Are we gonna be able to hear it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now.
It's the video. We shot the video at the tailgate.
Okay.
Yeah,
dope.
Bro. So
that's dope.
It's on there. It's just YB aside. They still gotta play us. But yeah, it's on YouTube, man. It last year the first one blew up, and then I was kind of nervous about making the second one just cause, you know, you don't want to tarnish the first one or water it down. But I think we did our thing on this one. Everybody likes this one, so
definitely.
All right, I'm gonna play it real quick.
That's part of the hook from the first one. That in the background right there.
They still gotta play us, man. Started out with who they done got me started. Call Katie, tell him make room for the Lamborghini. I trust 27 to lead us through any battle. We had DK out that press. You seen how we did Seattle? Went down 1-3 and then we hop back on that saddle. Everybody want T, but you can't have him cause we got a lethal 9 on the side and he gon' always red dot. 29 got him on lockdown. This Taylor Britt out here. You know Jamar probably open. That boy 7-11. Who your best cornerback? Cause my receivers gon' shred it. And y'all don't wanna go one-on-one with Lou's playbook. 91 step on that field and quarterbacks look shook. A couple weeks went by and we done stacked us up some wins. Brad Logan still with us, still the turnover twin. Uzier, man-to-man, you probably shouldn't throw at him. Orlando Brown came to town, showed us what a bodyguard is. I don't think they want no smoke with us. Forever standing on business, this ain't no joke for us. Money Mackey line it up, that boy forever clutch. Put up whoever you want, it's never slow for us. Ain't nothing changed, 21 still lurking in the cut. 83 reasons why they can't with us. Zach Taylor top dog, it's always win a bus. Hand the ball to Chase Brown, probably won't get touched. Chuck sizzle back deep to receive the punt. Probably gon' run it back, I feel like he the one. Doing my shuffle on him still, I feel like Icky Woods. Whole line protecting Joe like a tiger should. Imagine having Trent Irwin as your 4th string. If BJ Hill hit you, you feel what that force brings. 1, 2, 3, nah, we need 4 rings. This the jungle, you can't come in here and pull strings. Look close, look how DJ read that offense. Sin Hubbard and Osai, yeah, we all in. Nick Scott ball hawking overwatching. Dax Hill an interception that look flawless. It's really hard to lose when K. Adams rooting for you. If you need a couple yards, Herb gon' get it for you. We got 10 of Hudson now, Sample still 2. Yoshi gon' go get that ball just like a dog do. Already knew they had the players, but this part 2 is part 2. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. It's time to play up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. I'm from the city where they gotta.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you.
That's dope.
Bro, I love the fact that you like gave a shout out to everybody. It wasn't just like a Bengals anthem.
Yeah.
Like the whole shit was about every fucking player.
That's what it was last year. Like when I first made it last year, John from Kiss, he was like, man, I thought they was going. He said I thought he was gonna name the whole roster. I'm like, you gotta try something. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
if I just make a Bengals anthem, then you know it's cool, whatever. Like the fans will like it. Like the fan base that shows so much love. Shout out Strawberry and Cincy James. Like they showed so much love, man, and like on Twitter just pushed this song for me, and to where it's like I done met, you know, I got the chance to meet Corey Dillon because of this song. I got a chance to meet Cam Taylor Britt's parents, Jordan Battle's older brother, his mom, like people like that you know what I mean, that I probably would never have a chance to meet.
For sure.
But I've been blessed to meet these people just because of this. So I think more or less with the family and meeting the families and stuff like that, it's better because it gives them something to be happy about. You know, like Jordan Battle's he's a rookie, so you know, for his parents to hear somebody say, I trust 27 to lead us through any battle, they like, man, that's dope. Like, he's talking about my son, you know?
Right.
So I can't imagine what that was like. I got a 4-year-old just like you do, so I can't imagine, you know, her growing up one day and doing something like that and somebody putting her name in the song just off love. Like, because when I did this, it wasn't even about the money. Like, it ain't about none of that. Like, I'm a Bengals fan. Like, I love the team, and I always have. But like I told them on Kiss, like it's something not even as much for the players, just for the fan base to say, you know, this is ours. Like this is something that we can claim, and you know, so probably won't make a third one. We'll probably end after this one, but you know,
You never know, man.
Rocky
I said
too,
it
right?
last year too. Yeah, you know, I said it last year too. But
Hey, can I say one thing though? Is if y'all did see how my man worked, he don't write nothing down. He punch in bar for bar. I mean, it's straight off the head. So like,
bless.
everything you heard on that track about every player was just like, oh, here, and he'll punch it in, and boom, punch it in. Like there was no like reading and writing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, this will be this, and this will be for this player.
Okay, yeah.
It was just like,
Off the dope.
yeah,
See, and
man.
that's,
We
like-
just get in the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
off
like
the,
what
It works so
off the
fluid
head.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
We're gonna have to
working
get a
with my guy.
remix once we get Justin Jefferson, bro.
For sure, I can't
Yeah.
wait for JJ to come.
Dude, that
But,
yeah.
yeah, like he said, just punching in. Like that's another thing that we started just now when I came back and we started recording together again. Because I used to write everything down, and somebody told me like, man, why don't you try to punch? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, like
We started getting in the moment with them punch-ins.
Yeah, because it's like, and
Change
now I
everything.
look back at it, it's like I can write something on Monday. Like I might be in a pissed off mood on Monday and write a song that needs to be expressed as pissed off. But then Friday when I can get to the studio, I'm not pissed off no more.
Right.
So it don't come out
In
the
the
same
best
way.
mood ever.
You
Like,
feel
oh,
me?
this
Like
ain't
I'm in there
gonna
trying to
work.
be mad. Like I'm thinking of shit make me mad. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
Yeah.
just not even good for your mental to do that. But now, like, you know, there's times where I call him like, bro, I'm pissed. I'm pulling up. Like some shit going on I need to talk about. Like I'm pulling up.
I already know where to take the beat.
You know
Like,
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Alright,
so
Based on the phone call.
Right,
Right,
yeah. Oh, he
yeah.
feeling like
He
this.
know what's
Yeah,
up.
Go ahead, get these 808s knocking.
Right,
real
right.
quick.
Let's head into this folder.
Yeah.
We got the angry music.
Straight
Let's
up.
go.
Lining
right?
it up. I got
Yeah,
you.
right.
These
Get here
keys and
quick, man.
tempos, like-
Right,
It's
yeah.
times where I pull up and I want to do a song that's like, you know, like not necessarily sad, but just some shit I'm going through, and it might be more of a singing rap type thing. But then it's nice where I pull up, I'm like, bro, I just want to rap tonight. Like, don't give me no auto tune, don't give me no nothing. I just want to rap, bro. Like, just let me go. So it's better because that when you're recording it, you get that feeling that you have when you're thinking of it. So if I'm feeling a certain way, that emotion's going to mix with my thought process is.
Yeah.
So my emotions and my thought process mix, and it just comes out sounding way better. You don't have to worry about the delivery process of reading off your phone or trying to remember your lyrics. You know what I mean? It's just it comes out more fluent, man. And we,
Natural.
yeah, the whole tape
Yeah.
that we did, the automatic, like, and then we got a deluxe that's going to drop to that soon. So we probably got what 10, 12 songs that we got a
Oh, you
catalog
got a
right
whole
now.
nother-
So like.
Yeah, you got a whole other
We definitely-
Yeah, a whole
album
nother
plus.
album. So
yeah.
so we
got the vault
everything's
locked up.
punched. Like we probably got 25 songs right now that's all punched, and it just comes out way better. Like I've seen that growth from, you know what I mean, even like 2 weeks. I was at another studio 2 weeks before I linked back with Otto, and it's like I can see just from writing that 2 weeks and then punching, I can see the difference in them songs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and he helped a lot. Like
It's the vibe. Yeah, he's
feel the vibe.
setting the vibe.
He set it all off because
Yeah.
like just like when you said like you guys said leave stuff to the experts. Like I don't like the first part of the podcast when y'all talking about beats and 808. I don't know none of that, bro. Like I don't know a lot about that. You know what I mean? And for me, like I never got on that side of the music thing. Like I never tried to make beats or anything like that. It was just more like vocalist for me. Like so, I never got that deep into knowing a lot of stuff, and that's why I'm so blessed to have him. Because like it's like yin and yang for real, because he knows all that technical stuff, you know what I mean? So I can walk in and say this is what I want it to sound like, or this is what I'm thinking, and he gonna know automatically. Like
That's what a good
this is
producer does, man.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So I'm way blessed to have him on my team and have him on my side as my right hand.
That's
man.
awesome. That's a great compliment.
I had a vision, bro. I had a vision when he was like, "I'm pissed off, man. I need to get to the studio." I just had a vision of Otto just dialing everything in on the laptop and then putting a little like punching one of those punching clowns right when YB walks in, bro. So like just
Oh.
Now that's my boy Dorney, man.
just you know what I mean? Just
Dorney, bring
hit
the
that
vibe.
punching
You know
clown
him?
3 or
Yeah.
4 times, bro. Just to get that anger. Let's go.
There's another to the trio. He ain't with us tonight. He the vibe guy. He
shout
ain't
out
with us.
Dorney.
Shout out
Shout out
Dorney,
Dorney.
man. He the vibe guy. But
What's his
he
name?
his name Dorney.
Dorney.
His real
Dorney.
name Dustin, but we call him Dorney.
Okay,
But
cool.
He,
Shout out.
That's like my little
For
brother,
sure.
man. So he know everything I go through. He knows about. You know what I mean? I send him 100 screenshots a day. Like so,
Y'all
like
so
you know what I'm saying? He knows what's going on with me all the times. But he know how to get me in that. Like if I tell Otto like I'm in a bad mood, or he see, even if we in the studio and he think I'm being too playful or joyful or something like that, and it's not that type of vibe, like he gonna pick at me
Snap back.
to piss me off. You know what I mean? Like he
Get you in that
knows,
zet,
he
that
gets me in my
space, yeah.
zone, like because
Yeah.
he knows like what to do to trigger me. Like not a lot of people know how to trigger me, but with somebody's with you every single day almost, like they
learn.
know how to
Yeah.
trigger you because they see other people trigger you, and so you know he'll nitpick at me because, and it's not like, and I tell him all the time like, bro, I'll beat your ass, like you know what I mean, like, but it's never really that because I know like for me it helps me because like I said,
Yeah.
he knows how to get me to where I need to go to be able to make a good song. So that that's shout out Dorney the Vibe guy, man.
That's awesome. You got to have those people. You have to have the people in the process that are, they're like you have to have 4 legs to a table to stand, or 3 in some cases. You got to have legs for the table to have the base.
That's a good
You-
analogy.
you know what I
I've
mean?
never
Like,
heard
you
that, but
can't
yeah,
really-
That's facts.
Right. And like you can't really like nothing's built completely on your own. Eventually,
Right.
you need the UPS guy. You
Yeah.
need the FedEx guy. Even if you don't think about them as team players, they are. And like at the end of the day, like once you start your mission, you eventually realize you need your sword, your shield, and all the things along the way. And like you start building up, and those come in people. They come in human form, and eventually, like you start adding to your team, and you find someone that's like, man, this guy like gets me with before. I think he knows me better than I know me.
100%.
And then you're like. He's like, oh man, he's just a better version of me that just looks different.
real,
and like,
bruh.
but he doesn't want to do the singing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the singing. That's so interesting. And so like, there's just that kind of a play, and like, no one at the top of the mountain did it by themselves.
Nah, not at all.
It's just to get up the mountain, you have to have tools, and these people that you empower or you've joined the team or you partner with or whatever the dynamic is, you've got to have them
Got
in
to.
place.
Yeah.
Because you really like you said, you weren't worried about the 808s and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I wasn't really either. Like I was the vocalist as well, and like, but I understood the intricacies of it, and I understood how the producer thought, and I wanted to make his life better, and I knew my drummer was like a perfectionist because like we talked earlier, like he just turned down a serious opportunity to like just see the road,
Yeah.
and an uncertain opportunity. You don't get anything out of touring other than good experiences. You learn, but like you're not necessarily guaranteed a career,
No.
and so so I knew how he like looked at it. So I was like, you know what? I need to make sure that I know everything there is because when it comes time to him being a certain way and getting in his zone, I need to help him get in his zone to make my life better, because this was my brainchild. I can't have my brainchild stop because he can't get in the zone.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? So like I knew the greater good, so I got to learn how to bass like how to do the bass drops, and like I wasn't necessarily pressing the buttons in the producer, but I'd be like, hey, we need to add a drop here, we need to add this, and like
all
a
a
reverse
collaborative
symbol, like a
effort,
reverse
bro,
symbol. Do you know what a
I mean?
reverse symbol? Where they
Yeah,
of course, like people that listen exactly, but like that's when I learned what a reverse symbol was. I had no idea what a reverse symbol was.
That creates suction in the track.
Exactly, because it pulled into the next part of the song. And in metal, there's transitions, and it has to be smooth. Otherwise, people are like, "Oh, that was weird." And if you ever get "that's weird" in a metal song, you've already taken yourself out of the metal song.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for the angry and the zone. But if someone's like, "That was weird," oh, that's not what you want for metal. That's what you want for
That's not
Lil.
the feel
That's
you're
what
going
you want.
for.
Lil Uzi Vert. That's weird.
Yeah.
No, you don't want metal. That's weird. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
So like when you have "that's weird," like that really takes everyone out. So those reverse symbols will save your life in there. They'll completely take a transition. Now you just move on to the next part, and you don't have to worry about it. And then like extended screams and different things and vocals, a lot of layering of vocals, tons of layering of vocals. You know what I mean? 4 to 5 tracks, and then there's like whisper tracks. We've done a whisper track where you do the low and like whatever. But like those little things I learned, and it made me a better musician.
Candy, you know,
it made me a better musician.
Of all those layers working together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the song has all these layers, but they're working towards the common goal of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like that in business. You know what I mean? Everybody working towards the common goal of the business. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, see the vision and trying to execute to get the vision. And when you start to see like hurdles, the bigger the hurdles usually means the further along you are. When the hurdles get big, that means there's a wall that you have to get past. And as you get past that wall, then all of a sudden the hurdles change. Things,
It's like,
yeah.
As a producer, you know, I feel like my job is to take the emotions, the attitude, the feeling of the artist, what's in their head, and translate that, facilitate that to the product you hear coming back. You know what I'm saying? To the sound you hear coming back. And it's like sometimes that's an easy task. Like, all right, I'm with you on that vibe. Like, I gotta pick it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a hard task.
Sometimes
you know?
I'm in there like I want to do this.
Like,
He's
yeah,
like, "What
it's
you
a-
want to do?" I'm like, "I don't know, bro. Like I don't know
Right,
how to
right.
explain
Yeah,
it, bro.
yeah.
Like I just want to, you know what I mean?"
And-
But we figured it out.
But
Yeah,
at
it's
the end
cool.
of the day,
Hey,
you know, you just work through it.
Otto's getting some love over here, bro.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, there's people commenting, man. I miss Auto Labs. Jimmy Jump said, "Let's go, boy."
Yeah. What's up, Jim?
Aaron Taylor said, "Otto's the best to do it. Nobody comes close to his quality."
bro.
Shout
Appreciate
out.
you.
Hey.
Shout out.
Nicholas
Yeah.
Cutright said, "Otto's the livest."
Type
Yeah.
shit.
Those
Chad
guys.
Gasser, Kyle knows his mixes.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
for real.
bro.
The
Eric
kind words
Simpson,
keep me going.
it's got a
Keep
little
me
auto
going.
blasting off the
Bro.
earth there. You got some love,
That's
player
some
in the
love,
city.
bro. That's
I
some
appreciate
love.
that, and I appreciate y'all, man. I
Yeah, that's
appreciate y'all
dope, bro.
so
Because
much.
that's one of those things, man,
love.
where it's like
It's love.
you're in the mix doing your day-to-day grind, right? Like the way that I
Sure.
consider is I've got my blinders on, man, and not like
Yeah.
I'm looking at that end goal, bro, and it's like I'm always pushing at the clock, and I'm always trying to come up with new designs and new things, and we throw the shit against the window, and some of it sticks, some of it doesn't,
For sure.
but like I'm in the I'm in the trenches, bro. So there's dust flying everywhere, and like I don't get to stop and see people say, you're doing a good job, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, we,
It's so
I do see it and I
rewarding,
appreciate
man,
it, but
to
that's what I'm
see
saying is like,
appreciation for what you do.
Yeah,
you know
when
what I mean?
people stop to take a moment
Speaking
to
of the
comment.
shop, this place is amazing, dude. I haven't been here in a couple years, but yeah, being back up here is like, wow.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
It's so original, man. In the back room is live.
There's
That
no
is the livest.
There's
bro.
no store like it, bro.
No.
And that's the thing. Like this whole thing is like interactive retail. We're calling it, right? So
It
it's like
definitely is.
at the day where the Florence Mall and all these places are dying, like we're trying to like revive the shopping experience, right? And it's really easy to go online and sell shit and put it out there, and then put a thank you card in there. But like we're trying to give an experience. So
You're doing it. I'm the type. I hate. I don't hate ordering online, but I hate ordering online. I like to come in and like we were talking earlier. Like I like to see the item I'm about to buy. I like a tangible item. I like to feel the quality. You know what I mean?
and for us, bro, like we want you guys to learn the staff, right? Because the staff here is super fire. So like like, you know, we're not just trying to get you to buy the clothes. We're trying to give you the experience.
People
where,
behind the clothes.
Definitely
where when you're
experience.
wearing the shirt, you're gonna go, yo, you got to go see Tyrell. You got to go see Andrew. Like they'll take care of you. You know what I mean? Like it's just a step above what the normality is.
It makes it more of an intimate experience for real.
100%,
It's
bro.
something that like you'll definitely talk about to someone too, because this place is great. And you guys are hospitable, and the designs, bro. Your designs are crazy.
Thank you,
the
dude.
Nasty Natty.
Yeah, this shit's fucking super
Looney
fire,
Tunes,
bro. Yeah.
Crisscross, I love it, yo.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
like, and the kids, you know, the kids come in all the time, bro, and like we know that these kids, they don't have a dollar to their name. They're not buying anything, right? They come right in. At this point, they don't even fucking care about us, bro.
Yeah.
They run right back to the white room.
Yeah.
Like they run up to the 7-Up door and they stop and like they pose and let it slide open. They look over at their
There's
friends
so
like,
many,
see, I told you. Like,
photogenic spots here, bro. Like
That's the thing, man.
So many, like you could fill up an Instagram with just angles and spots of the cool structures and
there's a lot to take
everything,
in,
art.
bro. And you know, like the lab. So we've gone viral on TikTok like hundreds of times, but it never reciprocates to the brand because all these kids come in, they do the videos, and you know, some of them strike gold, some of them have 100,000 views, some of them have 40,000 views, some of them have none. But like, nobody's tagging the brand, so everyone's like, "Where's this place at? Where's it at?"
Mystery shop.
it
And
is.
so we got
It is.
people that are
get it
coming
out.
here, and like when they walk in, they go, "Oh my God, I seen this on TikTok. This is where I seen
Yeah.
it." It's like, bro, just fucking tag the brand,
Yeah,
dude. Like we
yeah.
built this store, like because like we know
Give
that
y'all
you're
the
not going to
roses
come in
y'all
and
need.
spend money, but when he turned 16, like I was at that point where I used to walk into. What's that store that used to work at in
Oh,
Kenwood?
the Cosmic store.
Cosmic,
in
yeah,
Florence.
Cosmic, yeah.
Cosmic. It was like the place to be back in the day in Florence Mall.
There was
Hangout culture. It was a great.
There was
environment.
a
It
store in Kenwood. I think it was Cosmic as well, but they had a DJ in the front window, and like they only had the DJ there on Saturdays and Sundays. But for some reason, like I thought that was the coolest fucking thing. All it was a table in front of one little windowsill that that the DJ was playing at on Saturdays and Sundays. But I was like, this is my shit.
It is, yeah.
Right? Like this is, and so I would walk in there and like I'm one day I'm gonna buy this shirt. You know what I mean? It's just like that's the same thing for these kids. Like they're coming in and they're not spending any money, but there will be a time when bro.
Experience.
It
Yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah.
And it's
Definitely is
a place for misfits, bro. Like that's when we built this. We actually had a lot more seating areas, but we found out that the misfits, they won't leave. Like so we
They're
so we
telling you bye, see you in the morning. When
Bro,
you
we had
leaving.
Yeah,
we
literally.
had a couch over there
Yeah.
up against where the two TVs were. Two TVs are right now. We had a couch underneath it, and they would just come in and sit down and spend all day there. So it's like, all right, bro, like. At some point, we've got to turn this wall into making some sort of money because these kids just coming in and sitting down and just staring at us for 4 hours a
We
day.
love that they're comfortable, but like eventually you get a little too comfortable, and it's like, all right, well, does your family want you back?
for
Like,
sure.
are people
Put your
looking
shoes
for
back
you,
on,
dude?
my
Like,
guy.
Yeah,
Put
when they
your
start
shoes
asking if
back
you have
on,
snacks,
like-
bro, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's time to go home for
Yeah,
dinner,
yeah,
bro.
right.
Shoes kicked off.
They do.
Pulling up with the popcorn from the movie.
From the movie theater,
yeah.
Chilling.
But that was the one thing, man, that like me and Andrew and Tyrell all understand is like, hey, these kids are gonna come in. We built this store for them, right? Like, so when they come in, they don't spend any money. Like, don't get aggravated. Don't get upset that they're spending 20 minutes in the lab. Like,
Right.
just let them do their thing as long as they're not
sure.
fucking anything up. Because there will be a time when they do have money, and they're gonna be buying this before
It's gonna
Nike.
be the first place they come to.
Yeah, bro, and
for
that's the
sure.
thing. Like when these kids come in and they're wearing a Nike shirt and they buy one of ours and take off the Nike shirt and put our shirt on, it's like,
Good.
yeah, it feels amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I would have given that shirt to you if you would have told me that. Like, you know what I mean? Let me throw that Nike shirt away for you, bro. It'll be on me.
For real.
Yeah.
But same thing with Dark Heart Records, bro. Like you're building this place for people to feel comfortable in. What
sure.
as soon as they come in, like you want them to feel the vibe and feel the
I
understanding.
feel like, music is a lot about the energy and vibe, and like all the lights in the studio are changeable by my phone. I can change the color and the setting and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want the artist to feel like, all right, if you come in today, you like, I'm mad, I want it all red in here. We're gonna make it all red in here. And so I've been down to like RCA where Elvis used to record and stuff. And lighting was a big deal to Elvis, and it's crazy to think about. But he would like have different moods for different songs, and he'd make them change all the lights in the place.
Yeah.
Like these need to all be blue lights for this song, or so forth. But if an artist is wants a certain vibe, I like to be able to give that vibe for the record. You know what I mean? So I like it to be a neutral, safe place to record. You know what I mean? I don't like I don't like too much going on. I just like it to be somewhere where everybody can be expressive and creative and feel safe. And I feel like that's how you make good music, or it's a good space to make good music.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's the truth too, man. I had a buddy of mine. He's from L.A. He's more of like an acoustic pop music type.
Okay, yeah.
But he used to do these things called Blue Nights, and it was where, like in L.A., they would go to a studio and it would be all blue lights, and it would just be a bunch of music artists that would go in there and they would just pop ideas around. It was like John Mayer, like people like that all like were in this one blue. The whole room was just lit in blue lights, and that was just his thing. Was like, that the blues like a soothing acoustic style vibe. When red is like let's get it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
For sure, red
it's
is more
definitely a
aggressive,
vibe
blue
setting.
Is more like a cooler tone. It's like synesthesia is when you hear sound and you see color. There's certain keys that I feel like the frequency, like if I close my eyes, I can see the color of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like they go interchangeable with me. Like if I feel a mood from somebody, I can close my eyes and get kind of that aura, and then I'm like, oh, well, that's E flat minor or E minor or B flat minor. I don't know, different variations of color give me ideas sonically. It's crazy to explain, but
no, that's dope,
really
bro.
is,
I mean, that's super fire because of the fact that you're, that's your side of the fence, right? Like you're the producer,
Sure.
and you see these things, and you can see the music in color, right? So it's like, it's kind of how it is when it comes to printing. Like there's things that you can leave out, there's things that you can put in, and like, they say that art is never finished; it's only abandoned, right? Like, because you can go back in and you can spend another 9 hours on the Mona Lisa.
Song 1,000 times. You can put 1,000 hours into it, and some people might like the first mix you do. Some people might like the thousandth
version.
version. You know what I'm saying? So it's really it's subjective, but at the same time, it's like, if you love something, is it ever really done?
No, bro.
People ask me all the time, like, what's your favorite production you've done? That's like saying, what's your favorite kid? Like, how you say, I like Charlie more than Danny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Hey, Charlie.
it's like they all have a special place in my heart. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about my productions.
Me too, bro. Like if somebody asked me what my favorite design was, like, and no one's ever asked me, which is kind of crazy. Like
What is your favorite design?
thank you, bro.
There it is.
I don't think I've ever heard that question either.
I honestly don't know.
It's tough as a creator.
Yeah.
You're attached in different ways, different emotions to different projects.
I would probably say like probably the spiked eyeball is my favorite, only because that was the original, like that was the first mad scientist. Actually, the skater was, but like the first one that like I really felt was finished was like the spiked eyeball with the blurred mad scientist.
That's
behind
what
it.
the first one you showed me was the spiked eye. When we first decided on the lab, like the spiked eye is what you showed me first. Like I have this eye because we were like the world shut down.
Yeah.
And what are we releasing online? And then the lab was formed. But like that was the thing, is the spiked eye was the first one, and then you also had the skater when you showed that second. But
I think the skater was the first, the mason jar was the second, and then the spiked eye was the third. But the spiked eye was the
first one I saw
was the one that I felt was finished,
and
because
I think Mason was there too, because we looked at both of them as well. Because like
the original mason jar had it wasn't a metal top. It was like. What was it? What do you call that?
Like when it's like covered, it had like
burlap.
Yeah, the burlap.
I had burlap over it, and it was
Yeah.
wrapped around with a rope.
Yeah, that'd be a dope throwback.
I've got it. I
Yeah.
just there was something about the burlap that I was like, man, it doesn't look right. Like I need to do the metal top on it.
Yeah,
And then it ended up making sense, because then we can do the mason jars and put them out there that way.
I mean, that's one of the most frequently asked questions in the store is like, is this a real eye? Like
Yeah.
on the shelf there. I'm like, well, it's a real prop. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. It's just it's
yeah.
not
There's so over on the wall we've got a mason jar with like neon green. It's highlighter water, and in there's a movie prop. It's an actual eyeball movie prop. But the water, yeah. So the water that I use, like I don't know, like I guess I just use regular tap water because it created some sort of mildew all over the eye, so it has this fuzziness to it where people are like, "That's fucking gross."
That's crazy.
So it's funny too because like I'll be working behind the counter printing some T-shirts and you'll see somebody look at it and then they go to ask me if it's real, and I look at them and I got an eye patch and they just turn around and just set it back up and they walk away. Like, is this real?
That is crazy.
I just tell them like, what do you think? What do you think, bro?
Right.
Does it look real? Fuck yeah, it looks real.
It definitely looks real.
I saw you picking it up.
Yeah, people always want to
from
pick
a
it up.
different angle.
My fear. It's one time someone's just gonna. They've already dropped things. People drop stuff on the store. There's so many things you can touch, so it happens. But one of those times, someone's gonna pick it up and it's gonna slip right out of their hands, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, are you serious? Like, come on!" But like, that's the thing is like that's part of interactive retail. We expect things to happen.
Oh, yeah, for
People are
sure.
here to interact with the store to get to finally find the lab. So the interactive aspect, it comes with sometimes item casualties.
Yeah,
Things happen. You know what I mean?
The Jason Freeney dog.
Oh man, it just broke the other day. I fixed it and put it all.
Yeah, bro,
together.
we've got this. So there's a neon dog over here that like it looks like a blow up balloon dog, and it's by an artist named Jason Freeney. This thing's like crazy expensive, but it's basically like a Lego. You got to put it together, and you can see like the guts of the dog. And we had it like sitting way up high somewhere, and then the first time somebody broke it, it was the people that were painting the room. They broke it, and then the levy was supposed to reimburse me for it. They never did, so I had to buy another one. And then somebody broke this one like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But my man went in, bro. It's got hearts and guts and like
It took me a minute.
It's all literal. Like you gotta put the heart, and then you gotta put the
casing around it.
yeah, you gotta put the fucking ribs around it.
Like Sid off Toy Story.
Even
Right.
even his tail is a little bone, and you got to get it into that little blow up
You have
part.
to fix it, then you find the right pieces because like each piece is different size based on the front of him because it's just all different. The pieces.
I'm surprised you got it back together.
It took me about a half hour.
That's
I did it fast.
yeah.
I was so frustrated. The guys picked up the whole box and it slid off of the ground. He's like, I thought you could buy that. I'm like, dude, it's on top of a locker away from anyone's.
You can
hand."
buy it. It was fucking $300.
Yeah, he's like, how much it cost? I was like, it wasn't
plastic
cheap.
toy.
And then they scooted on out. They dipped quick, but like, I mean, grown men, college. I mean, pretty little after college, but like, it was just they picked up the box. Like, clearly, it's not for sale. Like, it's way above. It's not like an easy grab. There's no tag on it. You can definitely tell. So I don't know what they were doing.
box
But
That's that Candyland box.
the Candyland
Box is on
box.
right now.
The Candyland box.
So
yeah.
so the box that it's sitting on was a super rare pair of Allen Iverson questions, the actual shoes. They came out with a Candyland version.
Ooh.
So it's like Allen Iverson Candyland.
But still, like, why would you pick up the box without picking the dog up first, bro?
Right.
Bam.
Right.
Like,
It
you
slid
think
right
would
on.
slide off, right?
People don't think, bro.
They did it, and I had to fix it. It took me a minute.
I had a guy earlier today pressing the X on the mirror.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he was like trying to because they were definitely trying to find the lab and they couldn't figure it out. So he went over and he started pressing the X, which honestly is
It's the first I never heard.
kind of. We can definitely put a button behind it where if you press it, it opens.
that. We could.
Yeah,
We could
I think
definitely
we need to have a lever, a
We've been
lever
talking
or
about
a
a lever.
lever,
A lever.
a lever.
A lever.
But you had a spot.
I think
right
levers
up here
too
with like
used.
a red button and just a bunch of signs saying "Do not touch this button."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
And then
touch
see how
it.
many times a day that thing will
That
slide
shit-
open
Yeah.
and somebody
Right.
will touch it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I definitely want a bullhorn in the back when people open the bookshelf.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go in here.
Yeah. That. I mean, I think some kind of like just a lever and it makes like a sound and all of a sudden the lab just opens with desk.
It's got to be
that'd
like
be
a
fire.
George Washington headstone, bro. We're like pulling it forward.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like,
Like
a
like
machine back there, bro.
How about-
like,
How about we put it in the mad scientist head here?
there it is, right there.
right. This thing's fire, bro. This was my wedding gift. My wife's
That's
best
lit.
friend. Out of anything she could have bought Kayla and I for our wedding anniversary. This is what it was.
It's dope.
Bro, I'm obsessed with
Need
it.
to get a new plant for it.
I know. But bro, you got the connection, leaf and limb. Let's
That's
go.
fair. Yeah, I do. I mean, I do this show once a month called Beyond the Stage, which the next one is this Thursday on the 30th, where I interview artists. I bring them on stage. I bring a whole couch on. It's an all-black couch, a little different than the one you're on, but I ask them questions in between songs. So they play a set, and in between songs, we just kind of have a conversation. And I bring plants on the stage. I have like a flag. It's like kind of a comfortable living room vibe, if you will. But
MTV Unplugged, bro. MTV Unplugged is what
kind
it
of,
is.
yeah.
So let me ask you
Between
something.
two ferns.
Yeah, right.
How right between two ferns, bro? Be fire.
Yeah, right.
Music
So
version.
how hard would it be to do an impromptu? I guess I should be asking you. How hard would it be to do an impromptu producer rapper be on the stage where
Live.
it
Oh,
was
like live
live
mixing?
and then Otto just created some backbeats and then YB just freestyled over the top of it. And then you were able to go in and ask them.
Well, how it works is if they can make it happen, we can do it at Madison Live. It's just the conversation. The conversation is a really.
How are you guys?
Hi.
Appreciate you coming in.
Are we not supposed to be
No, we're here.
No, you are
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah,
like radio hosts?
We're
Yeah.
we do a podcast. We're on a podcast right now. We're live on.
we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram.
Well,
Welcome.
we have a good story.
We have a little to say. Yeah, we have a small thing to say.
We met 10 years ago, and I'm married, but I'm allowed to have sex with him.
Oh,
That is a
Wow.
story.
That is
Let's
quite
go.
a story. Yeah.
cool. Hey,
No names.
No
It's all
names.
No face.
I don't.
No case.
I don't have the blur face thing on this
Yeah.
though.
You're not on camera.
hilarious.
So.
You good?
No, it's true.
Fair enough.
That is
Hey,
very
quite a
cool.
journey.
You got a hell of a setup, buddy.
That's
For real, he got it made.
Yeah, you know,
hilarious.
I'm gonna hang out with you one weekend, bro.
Right.
it's funny.
Um,
But yeah, I think it would be possible to do it as long as he can transport what he needs to mix it in whatever he had to do. We can do it because we have a full. I mean, we've got a full sound system. Obviously, it's Madison.
Yeah, it's
Live,
Madison,
So
yeah.
there's everything we need. You know, we get all the mics you need, all the. I mean, everything you would actually need outside of your like if you were the DJ, bring your turntable,
I mean,
whatever.
I could bring
Probably
the
a
laptop,
laptop.
and my portable keyboard.
Yeah, we have a conversation. You
Drum
play some
machine,
songs.
We could definitely do
We can
something like that.
make something happen, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
you know,
here
you
for
know,
it.
it'd be, be cool is to bring like 3 or 4 artists on and then let them freestyle over Otto's music. You know what I mean? Like if you just brought out like 4 or 5 bangers and just like let like 3 or 4 musicians just ride over the beat for that, and then you can stop and ask
Yeah,
questions.
we could do like
You know
6
what
songs.
you know, you
really
can do,
cool
you,
with that?
you can do each artist like where one artist does it and then you pull them over and then you
to
ask
the
questions.
conversation,
Yeah,
and
and
bring the
then-
next one on to the next section. Yeah.
You could even do that with instrumentalists, like a guitar player, or like a violin player or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
bro.
Like I lay
Yeah.
a drum beat.
Dude,
for
You know,
sure,
they're-
maybe
they're-
a piano chord or two, and then they add something, and then we have you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a rapper
yeah,
do
that's-
something, and then you could get different aspects of like artistry from, you know what I mean, a rapper, from a studio musician to the producer to, you know what I mean, different angles on it.
yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be pretty live. 'cause-
That would be live.
and Madison would have all the microphones and things
Yeah.
to do live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sounds, instrumentation.
We got
so-
everything. We got everything.
Yeah,
we need
That
there.
was that was
That'd be
big
pretty
in
sweet.
Chicago for a minute. There was like drummers that would just be on stage and all they were doing is just
Keeping the
drumming
beat.
to the music that the DJ was playing. And I think what was it called? American Rag? No, that's a clothing brand. American. I can't remember the name of the bar, but it was fire, bro. It was like no, maybe it was. No, I still don't remember the name of it. Something about the devil. But anyways, it was a bar out there that was like it was so cool, man. It was just one guy on stage, just fucking
Jamming.
just jamming, bro. And like whatever the DJ was playing, he was just
Going
going
with it.
over the beat, and it was
Going
just
with it.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
gotta be
super
like,
fire.
That's gotta be top 3 craziest things that ever happened on a podcast, right?
That was definitely up there. On
Bro, that gotta be
on a
top three,
on a
bro.
on a real note, yeah, that was probably one of the more
I was about to
random
we,
conversations we've had with.
we actually one of the craziest things we had. We were interviewing Travion Williams from the Bengals.
Yeah.
He's the running back,
Yeah.
and was it around Halloween because that dude was wearing a Ninja Turtles outfit. Remember, and he walked in. He was like,
Yeah.
he was like waiting for the podcast to start, and then he comes in, and for some reason Travion pays attention to him and starts asking him questions, and then the first question Travion asked this guy, he responds with something about Joe Mixon and the gun charges. Do you remember? And we were like, no,
yeah,
fucking.
we can't talk about yeah.
And it was like,
terrible
and it was
time.
obviously, yeah, because it was, like Travion's the backup running back, right? So there's already like a little smoke in the air because of that.
Sure, yeah.
And this guy
right.
comes in, he just starts asking about Joe Mixon and the gun, and we're just like, oh no, what? All right, no, not gonna answer that one.
That
All
was
right.
bad. Yeah, that was. But I mean,
In a Raphael outfit at that. It wasn't even Leonardo or Michelangelo, bro. It was fucking Raphael.
right? Yeah, I mean that was definitely a pretty rough moment. But we've had a lot of people come in like mid podcast and they'll like hop behind the guests and they'll talk and they're just guests here and they've got interesting things to say. So like we have all sorts of people that come in because we're open. The store is open right now. You can come down to Native on the Levee and be a part of the podcast. Bring your Hi Mom sign and come join us because we're here.
Hi, Mom sign.
That's what I want so bad. Is someone to have a Hi Mom sign right out there.
We should just set the signs out there every Tuesday.
Let somebody pick them up.
Yeah, pick them up and like.
Oh yeah, like the
set 'em up.
The booth, the photo booth. They got props in there. You should just set the props out. Yeah.
I'm in. Next Tuesday we'll have 4 or 5 of them. It says Hi Mom.
I made it.
I made it on the PowWow.
I made it on native TV.
Yeah. That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
Just set them out there. People take them, whatever. It's like 50 cents a poster or something, whatever.
But it would go a long way for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just stuff like that. Like we're just trying to think different.
Gotcha.
Trying to like put our mark on what we're doing, but at the same time like trying to get others involved. And we're a community type of thing. We get other people involved, other artists, and we've had a lot of people like join in, like we call it the tribe. So everyone's here and we just talk and we do our regular thing, even if we're not necessarily having a guest like yourself.
I think I don't know if A Hunt knows how to run the register.
I'll be right back.
But A Hunt's in the building. He's helping us out. He's behind the register. Always, bro. Our team's fire, bro. I love the people that we have, man, because like A Hunt, he don't even work for us, bro. He's just over there. He was over there working at the shoe store, and then he came over here, and so all of a sudden somebody pops in. And he's like, "I got you, bro. I got you." Yeah, man, and that's the thing, bro. It's like you guys, man. You already said it. You guys are brothers, and it's like we say it all the time. High tide rise all ships, right? So like you're only as good as your weakest player. So we try to elevate everybody to get on that same level, man. Yeah. And when it comes to this store here, it's like, we I don't offer people jobs, right? Like it's more of just come in and pay your dues and find your seat at the table, bro. Like, because the table's got a lot of seats here, right? And the seat to design the clothes, that's taken. The seat to run the store, that's taken. But if you can, if
there's another
if you know how to do filmography, if you know how to do video, if you know how to do audio, like there's seats open at this table, right? And there's ways to for everybody to make money. And that's one thing that we're going through right now is, right now everyone's going paycheck to paycheck, bro. So it's really hard to ask people for money when $200 at Kroger is going. It's sitting in your front seat, not the back of your car anymore.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like $200 in groceries used to
now.
go in the trunk. Now it's going in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can expect people just to keep coming out, but the stores that are making it these days are the ones that are putting out the content, and the ones that people want to go to the store because they want to interact with Andrew or me or Tyrell, right? So it's like, how do we double down on having fun and recording everything while still trying to pay the bills, bro? Because like this store is not cheap, man.
Oh yeah, I
You
can
know what I
imagine.
mean? Like,
chill.
it's
This is like a prime piece of retail right here. Like
it
you
is,
got
bro. And I'm
cool-ass
on
store,
borrowed
you got
time,
the-
player.
you got the garage door and shit. Like this is like.
Yeah,
super nice.
the
But I
levy.
can imagine it's pretty expensive to be out this way too.
Yeah, like thankfully, man, the levy they love what I'm doing, and you know they want to see this thing go further. They've got other properties just like this. They got one in Atlanta, they got some in Florida, they got Tennessee,
Nice.
and so they want to see this thing thrive. But like I've got to break the ceiling of the levy before we get there, and it's like, you know, as of right now, the levy's full of out of towners, like people that are from Indy, Louisville, like they're here.
Yeah.
You know, but like Cincinnatians and Kentuckians, like they're not coming down here for some reason, and it's like we got to get these people through the door, bro. You
No,
know,
I feel that. I think
experience the place.
everywhere in retail feels that right now, but it's of all places, this shop is like, if people are gonna come out and shop, they should be down here shopping.
I appreciate,
your-
man.
your
Everything's
designs
done
are
in
off the
house,
chains.
bro. Like
I know
we,
right when we get done, I'm gonna grab a couple things, but I mean, like I like that you stay you. You might have Bengals stuff and things, but they're like your version of it.
yeah,
And like they pop. It's like a mix, like the Bengals shirts that look like the old No Limit shirts, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fire.
yeah, bro. I got.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
So-
if I can ask, like, you just wake up
I-
one day like, oh, I'm gonna do a shirt like this.
I appreciate that, bro. So I actually just over a year ago, and I've got crazy eye issues, man. I've had 5 eye surgeries. It's still in there, but it's just beat up, bro. Like the lights are out on that side of the house. So about 14 months ago, I wasn't able to sleep. Like I was literally like, if the way. One of the eye surgeries, I've got a zip tie basically sewn into my eyeball, and you know how a zip tie's got that little plastic end that goes
Gotcha.
through.
Yep.
So that thing sits right here on my eyeball. So like when I go to lay down, if I've got to lay my head in a certain angle and position, so I've got to
so you don't feel it.
I've got to lay on my left side, and I've got to raise my chin up a little bit. Any other position than that, like the pressure builds, and then it starts to pulsate, and then I get just my eye just starts
yeah.
dripping. So it got to the point where I wasn't able to sleep, bro. I was just sitting in the living room at 3:00 in the morning, like, you know, I'm sitting up, and the second I would start to fall asleep, it would just pressure would build, and it wouldn't let me sleep. So I just hopped on YouTube and just learned how to do those. Literally, Cash Money Records was what I Googled, like how to do this.
Yeah.
So I was just 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, just fuck it, man. Like,
'Cause you was up. 'Cause,
yeah. So I got so good within 3 months just on doing those like No Limit style T-shirts. That's like,
those are like, yeah. They bring back
Nostalgia, bro.
memories,
Yeah, for sure.
Just like the Looney Tunes crisscross joints, like it bring back something, but it's like.
and the trick to it, bro. The trick to it is doing the wider version, right? So like a lot of the times, even if you're a great designer and then you go and you send your stuff to excuse me, if you send your stuff to a silk screener and you don't tell them the exact way that you want the stuff, your shirt's going to come out 11 inches wide, so your logo is only going to be 14 inches tall.
Same square.
And then it looks like something you bought from Zoomies. But since we've got the 16 by 20 platen, I'm sorry, not Zoomies, Spencer's.
Yeah.
But you know, now that you got the 16 by 20 platen, you can do the big bear like you got. Like that's
Yeah,
like
like
that's
all the way
15,
across the
16 inches
chest,
wide. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're drawing outside the box, bro. And people don't go, that's a big logo. They go, that's dope. And they don't know
right.
why, and it's
But it's
the only
because
reason that it's the why is because you're drawing outside the lines. You know what I mean? So it's like there's little things like that really just kind of put you in your own realm. And like that platin's not cheap. Like the 16 by 20 platen was $700 just for the plastic to lay the shirt on to go through the printer. You know what I mean? But that's just one of those things where there's a reason why everybody doesn't have
I
it.
say not everybody's being able to do it.
Yeah. So, you know, just being able to have things like that, bro. It's like, we're able to really double down and do the designs that look cool, that you don't realize. It's not a $20 shirt. It's a $30 shirt because it's just printed outside of the lines, bro.
Yeah.
So,
It
yeah.
looks like a $100 shirt.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to get to, bro.
Yeah.
And actually, to be honest, if you looked at the prices inside the lab, so another thing that we did strategically was, if you're in store, you get half off anything inside the Mad Scientist lab.
Oh, okay.
And that's for the experience, so that people in LA, they'll still have to pay the $70 for a T-shirt if they want it. But what we're trying to do is give you the
But in
experience.
here, yeah,
So
yeah.
come in here, meet our employees, and
That's
you'll get half
crazy
off.
dope, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, how do we get the shit on
That gray and
StockX?
pink spiked eyeball design back there is fire.
Yeah, bro, with the neon pink on the
It's
sleeve.
like puffy on the sleeve. That's live.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
And-
it even feels like a quality shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like a T-shirt you just buy.
And that
Sweatshirt you just
that's
buy.
one of the things, bro. It's like I learned this right when I first started the brand. It was like, you could buy the Gildan hoodies
Right,
for
yeah.
$9, or you could buy the Bella ones at the time for $13. So I was paying $4 more per hoodie, but
the
all,
quality's there.
bro. So like, all of a sudden, like, the people that were buying stuff to support me, like, you're gonna get people that are gonna buy it and they're just to buy it, right? And then they're gonna put it in the drawer and they're never gonna wear it. But because I spent the $4 more on the Bella hoodie, that it turned out they were wearing them 3 days a week. It turned out to be their favorite hoodie. So all of a
I
sudden,
know. So I play pool a lot at Michael's Pool Hall. I play in some leagues and things, and I see people all the time wearing native stuff.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, yeah, that's live. Like, I'm gonna start sending you pictures.
do it, bro.
Or start posting them and tagging
it
you.
never gets old,
Yeah,
man.
because it's like I see the brand all over. So you guys are definitely kicking ass, and it's always quality stuff. You know what I mean? Like, somebody will be like, oh, I got this shirt 2 years ago or whatever, but it looked brand new. It looked nice. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's I don't know. You guys put out real good quality.
Appreciate
garments,
that, bro. And that's the thing. Like 99% of the t-shirts here are all comfort colors, and the reason why I like comfort colors is because they're all garment dyed, right? So they've got that faded black look to it, but they don't shrink. Like, they've already been washed, they've already been dried. So like,
that's how it's gonna
what
be
you're
for the
buying
life of
here
the shirt.
is going to be the same size after you wash it and dry it, dude. And like, that's a good feeling, and that goes a long way, because like, again, like we were talking about earlier, like in even a missed shipping order, like toes on my mind. So if I'm if I'm putting stuff on Gildan t-shirts or real cheap t-shirts, like, that's always going to be in the back of my head, like, bro, they're going to return it, they're not going to be happy, like,
Yeah, there's always that chance. It's like, people always ask me, man, you do the extra drops in the songs and you're not paid to mix, or you go a little bit further than what's expected. Why do you do that? And it's like,
quality.
yeah, you want your name's on it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you want it. In my case, I want them songs to be hitting.
Yeah.
You want your designs to be hitting. You want people to be like, no matter what, this is fire. And so it's like, if you got to do that little bit extra, I think people do respect and appreciate that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you might pay a little bit more for it, but the quality's, twice as good. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I think it translates.
Do you have anything that is like kind of like your go-to that's always tied into like one of your songs where, like, it's an Otto song?
Otto.
Yeah. So he always puts an ad lib in the beginning, shouts my name out somewhere. I used to have tags, but then like, it got to the point where I felt like throwing a tag in there at random and things was just kind of tacky at some point. And it's like, I want people to respect the song. When I listen to an old Primo beat or something, I don't hear no tags in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just hear a classic record. So then I started taking them out. If someone asks me, and I always appreciate that too, they want to make sure people know it's mine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then I'll put a tag in it, or we'll do an ad lib or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Which, it's always appreciated. But when I create the beat, I'm not really like worried about the recognition of people knowing Otto produced it at that moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm really about just how it sounded and how it's going to translate.
I mean that makes sense, man. I actually I was watching I think it was Ink Master, one of those tattoo shows,
Yeah.
and one of the tattoo artists, anytime that somebody wanted a watch or a clock, he would put his birth date as the
Of
time.
That's live.
And bro,
See, that's
like,
kind of hidden. Yeah.
well, so it was hidden
Yeah.
until he told somebody about it, and the person that got the tattoo was so mad. Like, he ended up getting kicked off the show because they were like, "That is so arrogant that you're putting your birth date on somebody else's body." But at the same time, it's like,
If
hey,
they didn't know,
it's
you know what I
it's
mean?
for one, it's hidden, and two, if they don't ask for a certain time,
That's what I was gonna
cares?
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
if you
wasn't
want 420, I'll
specified,
put 420. But
right,
hey,
but
if
not,
if
I'm
you're not
putting
gonna say
11,
anything, I'm
13,
putting
11, 12, whatever.
March 1st, bro, 301. Let's go.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But like that's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like a little, it's very cool if you can just hide it in there, but
Right.
like don't tell anybody, bro. You gotta
I've
keep it a
layered
secret.
it in there, you know what I mean, before and things and tried things, but at the end of the day, it was like, I don't ever want it to come off as like I'm trying to be like egotistical either.
Nah,
Is there like a certain like flow or like beat that just resonates towards Otto compared to anything else, or are you just a chameleon where you can just go?
You know, I mess with a lot of different variations of music and genres. Like I had 2 country songs hit the 100 charts, top 100 charts this year. And that was something I never thought I would be into until I went to Nashville. And I was like, wow, I love doing this.
Man, we
So,
might need to hook you up
like-
with Kevin McCoy, bro.
Yeah.
But there's never really anything I stick to other than like if I'm creating myself for some reason, E flat and B flat minor are just keys I really like to work in.
Yeah.
Other than that, you know what I mean? And like I can always tell right when I hear one of those keys or in a surrounding key of song, I can always tell right away like that's what that is. But
That's what I was looking for. More than the ad lib of you going, you know, you like Auto Labs
so
or whatever.
yeah. Like I'll stay around E flat, B flat minors. I don't know why. It's just like I gravitate towards that vibe. It's like I get a cool mellow vibe from that, but
Yeah.
something you can kind of like bounce to too. But yeah, tempo wiser, I'm all over the place for real.
Dope.
It's like that helps set the energy. So if I'm in a better mood or a more positive mood, it's gonna be more up tempo for sure.
Right. How'd you feel about doing like the country style music? Is that was
You
that
know,
something
like,
that was
I-
harder to do
It
because
was
you've
something
got
I never really like. I guess I never really just envisioned it. I never, you know, when you
Yeah, you got your
when you have
blinders
an
on,
idea,
you're good at what you
know
do,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I always stayed in this lane, and then it was like I kind of seen the challenge, and shout out to Philip Good too. That's one of the artists that I was working with heavy.
Philip Good
And-
music.
yeah,
Oh.
that's my guy.
Yeah. I met him.
Yeah, so I
and
produced
he they were.
almost everything he put out until the last year or two when he moved. And
Okay, yeah, I met him here, the store maybe. I met his whole crew.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
all, and then I connected him on Instagram, and I've been
so,
watching
so
his
we
stuff
went
since.
To Nashville,
That's awesome, small
and
world,
we
man.
worked out of RCA, we
Yeah.
worked out of Omni, we worked out of Dark Horse, which is like affiliated with like Dolly Parton. There's a bunch of big records that came
Yeah.
out of these studios, so I was blessed enough to be down there with him and do some work. And some of the songs that we did came out later, a couple years later this year, and yeah, some hits. So
Otto.
I know, dude. Shout out,
but
bro.
it's definitely it's like you know,
What a-
I never really
vibe,
looked
too,
at
bro.
it like
Yeah.
like country music is something that I could get into. We added some 808s in there, some signature Otto sound, I guess you could say, and yeah, it just came out really well. Look up the song "Chance of Rain." That's one of my favorites that we did.
Tangerine.
"Chance of Rain."
Chance of rain.
Yeah.
Chance of rain. Got
Yeah,
you.
So I sample a little Nashville weather report in the beginning and stuff to kind of
Oh.
set context.
That's
to it.
tight.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's
Kevin McCoy is a country musician who lives here in Cincinnati. He played at the
Okay.
VOAs. He played on the main stage.
Oh, that's nice.
He's fucking fire, bro, and he's on a fast track. So if
said
you've got
Kevin
any
McCoy?
other Kevin McCoy, yeah,
Kevin
if you've got
McCoy.
any other
Yeah.
country beats, just waiting,
might
man.
have to reach out.
We'll have
send
to
him some.
link you guys,
Yeah,
bro.
definitely.
He's great, man. He's such a good dude too, man. He's just country to the bone, bro. And he's here
That's
in
awesome.
Cincy, and he reps Cincy pretty hard. So
That's awesome.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Kevin is great. I mean,
You got him coming for the.
Haven't
on the
announced
stage.
yet. Haven't announced yet. We're
Oh
going
shit, my
It's
bad.
No, you're good. We're going to now. I'm excited. I mean, hey, if you're watching the podcast, be ready.
Hey, there it is.
Be ready for it. It's coming very
Live
soon.
look,
We're really soon from it. It's gonna be the start of the new year. It's gonna happen right at 2024,
Nice.
and we'll have a really big event with him, and I'm excited because he reached out to me after I told him what I was doing, and he came into the store and he's like, I need to be on, man. I need to be on the show.
dope.
I got a lot happening in 2024, and let's pop it off with this to start and pack the room. I'm like,
Speaking
go.
of the VOA, bro, they're bringing in some artists.
Dude, VOA is on fire now with their they're just bringing all the big names, dude. It's like
That country lineup they just did during
Crazy.
the summer was like.
Yeah, it was
man.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And this one's gonna be even more insane. They got Jason Aldean, Sam Hunt, Keith Urban right now, and I'm gonna throw this out there, which I'm actually gonna text Tyler about it. So Jason Aldean's going on tour with Kid Rock, bro. They're only doing seven shows so far, but Jason Aldean is already tied into the VOA. So I'm thinking to myself, bro, if they brought Kid Rock to the VOA,
that'd be crazy.
it would be. And could you imagine? My name is Kid.
That would be wild.
It's Kid, baby.
That would be
Kid
wild.
Rock. Like that shit would be insane,
Yeah.
dude. Like, did you guys even see like video of the VOA last year? Like the turnout that.
I seen some stuff online. It looked crazy.
Bro,
Their
it was-
lineup was just insane though.
It was the
It was
first
like-
year that they did it, and it was
what I
it was
heard,
such
yeah.
a good turnout, bro. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
it
They
looked-
had
it looked super wild.
like the detailed security, like everything. Actually, we had a bomb scare. So listen to this shit, man. So we're setting up our booth. We get there. Our homie Yaman is already there waiting for us. So Andrew and I get there, and on like our tent, everything, all the clothes are already there, but the tent is just dropped. So we're setting it up. We're putting the tent back up, and we're bringing everything out. And all of a sudden, we hear this old dude yelling, and but sound check's going on, so we can't hear shit. And so we look over, and this white Santa Claus is bright red in the face, yelling,
Angry
"Get
Santa."
the fuck out of the booth! You heard me! Get out of the booth!" And me and Yam look at each other like, "What the fuck?" So we walk out. He's like, "Don't you see the dog?" And we're like, "No, didn't see the dog until now, bro." Like, so it was a bomb dog. So I thought it was a pot dog, and so I had pot with me. He had pot with him, and so we're like, "Fuck, we're getting busted at 10 o'clock in the morning with weed," and the cop comes over and he's talking to me, and like, long story short, they kicked Yaman out right away just because Yaman's like, "What's happening, bro?" Like the dude's yelling at the top of his lungs, and he's like, "What's going on?" Like, and he's like, "You don't understand what's happening? Like, get out of the fucking booth. You're out of here." And like we don't know what's going on. So I'm like, "Andrew, just take Yaman to the fence, bro. Let's figure this out." And the cop's like, "Yeah, do you have anything over there that we should be worried about?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got pot. We got like." He's like, "Oh, that's not a pot dog." And like, "What is it?" He's like, "It's a bomb dog." And I'm like,
Oh shit!
"What the?"
Yeah.
Why is he
Yeah.
It got real.
They told us away. They told it was like, what, a bomb? What are you talking about, a bomb? What? Because like they kicked Yaman out, like you said, and me and him walked up to the front of the venue with the police officer, and he was like, "Do you guys
Police officers were amazing. It was
great.
just the angry Santa Claus.
Yeah, the police were great.
That,
They were great.
That blew everything
yeah,
out of
Angry
proportion.
Santa, he was pretty
So
much
he was really dressed as Santa.
no.
or like-
He just
oh,
looked
he
like
just
Santa
looked
with
like Santa.
with a
Okay,
SWAT
okay.
with a SWAT vest
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, we
like-
just called him Angry Santa because he
Did
was
some-
very angry.
Did somebody like call and say it?
No,
or like, is it,
no,
You
the-
think it's standard procedure?
The dog sniffed his bag, and it turns out that he had an inhaler in his bag,
Shit,
Which will
and-
set off a bomb dog.
which was set off a bomb dog.
Inhalers will do that.
bro.
Yeah.
There's
so
a
that,
chemical
that
inside it that's also inside.
Bombs.
so yeah, so that whole thing happened
Because
because,
of my bag.
because of his asthma.
So the dog was probably just there as standard procedure.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
smell
Just
his
going
bag.
around making sure everything's cool in the morning, but but
Oh,
like.
man.
But with that being said, bro, the fact that they had bomb dogs and they had actually
Huge,
there was even a guy that came to our booth and said that he got stopped pulling in. So as he like when you get to the VOA, it's probably like a full mile of once you pull into the park, you got a mile of driving before you get to like the parking spot. He got pulled over in the middle of it, and he said the cop came up to him and said his name, and he was like, how do you even know who I am? He's like, do you have any guns in the car? And he said, no, I don't. And the cop told him, you know, we're running license plates for anybody that has carried and concealed, and so that we're making sure that you guys don't have any guns in the car. So the fact that it was the first year and they're making all those extra steps, bro, is like amazing.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that the stage was fire. Fire. The jumbotrons. You can be anywhere in the place and have a good time.
Yeah.
So like they're bringing all the music artists back in. They've got one other guy that they're going to announce here later on, which is top country music. Well, I wouldn't say top country. I would say Garth Brooks is. If they brought Garth Brooks in, that shit would be insane,
bro.
I seen
Dude,
a thing,
that would be
insane.
I seen a thing where it said Garth Brooks.
He ain't sharing the stage with nobody.
He won't perform anywhere but Vegas right now because of his residency. Even his own bar he opened in Nashville, he's not allowed to perform at for like so many years until his residency's up in Vegas. So
I could see it. I could definitely see that, man.
that'd be cool, but I don't know if we're gonna see Garth.
I don't think Garth. I don't think at this
3 to
point.
5
I don't think
years.
Garth would share the stage with anybody. I feel like Garth wants 2 to 3 hours on stage by himself, not 30 minutes at an end of a set.
Right. No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like
he's not. I mean, it is a festival, so I mean, festivals do bring out the biggest names, which they do have in their favor. They have such a big, but like Garth is like bigger than the festival, bigger than any festival that you're gonna do. So like
he could do a Garth Fest. Right?
He could do.
That's like Bengal Stadium.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
middle of Great American Ballpark.
Right.
By itself.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like,
oh yeah. He's like halftime. He's like doing halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's.
100%.
I mean, really thinking about his level, it's halftime of the Super Bowl. He's just. He's not as relevant as some of the people they're doing right now. You know what I mean? So it's like he could do it, and it would get all the viewage anyone else would get. Yeah. I mean, anything like that. But VOA. Back to that. The artists they are dropping and is just as relevant today, and like they're being very like strategic with who they're doing. They added the Thursday again. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they added Thursday back.
Fuck. All right. Cool.
I thought about the same thing. I thought the same thing. I thought cool. Right. I thought the same thing as you did. Like because I thought it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It was supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, surprise! We're gonna go ahead and do a Thursday." And I thought, man, that's just a day sooner for us to have to carry all the equipment.
Yeah.
Roll it down through the mud. Hopefully there's not rain this year like it was last year.
Yeah.
Or this year, I guess we're still in that year. But like last year, it was an interesting start to VOA for us. We had a lot of hurdles to overcome ourselves just to even get started with the whole process before even the bomb situation happened. It was like it took us all this time to get the stuff over. We finally got it over, and all of a sudden, Angry Santa comes out of nowhere.
I was like, you mad? I mean, you guys lived through it, but I can't imagine like just setting up everything and then facing those hurdles, and then out of nowhere you got a bomb dog, like, sniffing your
That
shit.
shit was great,
You know
bro.
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
I could when he screamed in my face, I could feel like the spit just come out. Like, he was just like, "Do you not understand?" I was like, "I was just trying to grab my drink, bro." Like I was trying to grab a drink because I had to walk Gaman all the way to the front with this cop, and I was like, "I want to grab my drink," and he's like, "Nah, you can't touch that." You understand?
And we didn't even know that your bag was the one.
Yeah, right. It was just so confusing. There was no clear instructions. He was yelling at the top of his lungs, so the diction in his voice was really muddy.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell what he was talking about. And they flew up so quickly. That dog came out of nowhere, and it was also because my inhaler. Just because it's just a little inhaler, just this big, and I don't even really use it that much. I haven't had really many asthma issues since Bunbury a few years ago. So like, I haven't had any issues. I just have it. Like I'm gonna keep it, but like, that's all it was. An inhaler, and it caused the whole place to be put down. And after that, like the following days, it was weird because like we saw him everywhere because that was they were the security.
Like
they did it every single day.
Like maybe the asthma inhaler was just
and everybody, the rest of the weekend, bro. Everyone was like, "You don't got a bomb on you right now, do you?"
Yeah,
like,
we were the butt of the joke the rest of the weekend.
Like the inhaler in this pocket and the bomb in this pocket,
bro. Like the only thing that I was asking was like, did anybody get any footage of this, right? Because like I just. you know, at a time where you got a bomb dog like at the native booth and SWAT is all around it, like
Bro,
like
that's
I was
crazy content.
I was going around asking like, did anybody fucking film this? Please, like did anybody? Nope. Everyone was too scared to pull the phones out. It's like, God damn, dude, come on, man.
Man, these comment section crazy, bro. We love everyone. You know, everyone tuning in the show right now, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. We are talking about these crazy stories. We had quite a podcast, guys, and we were
Yeah, it's been dope.
yeah. But the one thing I will notice about the VOA experience that I've learned from, I took from that after all the stuff we had to go through, it doesn't matter even like the genre of music. The fans and the people are there. They will go as hard as any industry. Because I've seen metal go hard. I've seen rap and hip hop go hard. And, you know, I've seen, you know, pop music people go there. They go and, you know, we watched Jack Harlow, you know, this weekend. People go hard for him. But like the country fans, bro, they dress the whole to the nines. They get everything out there, make the cowboy hats, everything in, and they're prepared for their best clothing. Every single one of them. And Lainey
Wilson.
Lainey Wilson, her fan base, they are crazy with she's influenced a whole
new
generation of these girls that are just, you know, deep into her whole story and everything.
Bell bottoms and like that. They're all dressing like man. I just saw her. Fucking Stevie Nicks, bro. They're all because Lainey dresses like Stevie Nicks. So now all these little kids are dressing like Lainey,
bringing it back.
She's obviously modeling after Stevie Nicks. So like, and the fact that like Lainey, like she stopped the concert and said, "Hey, I understand the position I'm in and the fan base that I have, and like I want you to know that I love you guys for coming out and dressing like you are, like being who you are," which is super cool to see because she's like mid-20s, right? So she could be on top of the world acting like Taylor Swift, but instead she's like giving thanks to the 12-year-olds that are coming out like in little bell bottoms, which is fire, bro. Like
tickets, you know what I mean?
if there's little 12-year-olds running around with diesel jeans, like little boot cut diesel jeans and
they were everywhere
shirts, I'm in.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I mean, I think of like how influenced Taylor Swift is on these girls, but Lainey's out there just doing her own thing in her own lane. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't necessarily have that track record that Taylor, but like she's influencing these girls completely head to toe. They're dressed just like her. She's about to go on stage, and you already see 10 Lainey Wilsons walking by that look just like her, and they're ready for it. And you know, they weren't just preparing it a week ago. They've been in this. They're in the fandom, and I thought it was really powerful. That's one thing I did take from VOA. On top of like all the stuff we learned from like just getting over the hurdle that is the whole festival, but passing it around, we out here getting loose. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and I think VOA was a really, really good experience, and I'm ready for next year, even if there's Thursday through Sunday. We got all 4 days. We'll be there. We'll do some original drops for it, and because we did the vending, so we had our own T-shirt that you couldn't get anywhere else. But
that's live. That's live. That's exclusive.
Yep, it was very exclusive. That's what we were pushing. We changed spots. We went from one location to another to kind of fit us better because they kind of put us in a spot where they were like, buy like a tent where you were get drinks and stuff, but everything else was around us was like giving out free stuff, and we're selling shirts. It's not really like people are walking down the line to get free stuff, which is cool. That's part of the thing. That's you know, but like we're selling T-shirts at a premium price, so like. It's kind of like it was a weird balance.
It's cool
but
that you guys are aware enough of your market and clientele and even the area that you was in to make a move like that. To like in the process like that shows like that you care and that you are aware of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Hyper aware
just
of
like
it.
grabbing a booth and just being there. You know what I'm saying?
Got to be a chameleon, bro. You got to be able to adapt to the situations.
Hats, you know
Oh yeah.
It's facts.
Yeah,
many
man.
native hats.
I
remember Trademark and Tino back in the day too. That's when I first heard about the brand.
Oh, dope.
Tino would wear the 513 and Trademark would wear the A59 joints.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I love those dudes, man.
Yeah,
you know, we've got. I haven't talked to Santino in a while, man. Him and I had a big fallout, but I'm still rooting for him, man. I see him pushing stuff, and it's like. I want to see him do well, bro. You know, like We're
He
all
just
in the
had that big show,
grind,
Freddie Gibbs. That's
bro. He
good shit.
like Freddie
Good
Gibbs
stuff.
needs to be thanking Santino
Bro.
for bringing out that many people
Look,
for
bro,
real.
I was
yeah.
there,
He was on the
bro.
floor grinding, getting those
Like-
ticket sales. I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
When,
I know.
He's a hustler for
Yeah,
sure.
Santino is a hustler.
When
man.
everything with
Yeah.
the Bengals, because he's a big Bengals guy. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
when everything with the Bengals popped off on Twitter, that was one of the first people that like, you know, reached out to me and like I talked to him all the time, and he even told me like, it's crazy because a lot of artists don't move the way he does. Like, I didn't expect it because he was like, he hit me at like 12 o'clock one night on my phone and was like, I woke up next morning seeing it. He was like, hey, my label's looking at people. Send your music here, and when I go out to LA, I'm gonna talk to him and let
Oh,
him know,
dope,
like,
bro.
I'm gonna let him know to look at it, like, you know what I mean. So then, like, the concert came up, and he was like, you know, come to the show tonight. So I go. That was the same day we was on Kiss that night. Yeah, we went to the show that night, and bro, I've never seen crowd control like that
Oh, he know what he's
in
doing.
person, bro.
He know what he's
Like,
doing.
I've never seen.
he-
I tell
he a
him like
vet.
I've
He a
never
vet.
seen someone control
Yeah, he
the
definitely-
crowd.
I mean,
like that, bro.
90. I would say 80 to 90% of the crowd was there for Santino, not
Yeah,
Gibbs,
no,
right?
100%,
and
bro,
that's
like,
and that's
100%.
that's him grinding his ass off for that
Oh,
that full 30
Yeah.
days to make sure that
Shit, it's him
people
grinding
showed
his
out.
ass off for 10 years, and then
Man.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure,
he's
bro.
showing-
Yeah.
showing in the 30 days
Right.
what
we
that'll do.
we talk about that
Yeah, he-
kind of like, so even any artist, anything. I mean, to get to this point to the store, it took years of building up and doing different
Yeah.
things, and what you see pop up, and the person comes
Yeah,
from nowhere,
you might see
but there's
the last
10
30 days of
yeah,
that, you know what I mean?
exactly.
But that's
Yeah,
that's
the
tip
10
of
to
the
15
iceberg.
years,
Yeah,
right?
that's
It is an
facts.
iceberg mentality. So like,
Yeah.
you're seeing the tip of the iceberg, but most of the iceberg is underwater.
Facts.
And
you don't see none of that.
Exactly. You're not seeing the 10 to 15 years of build up and work and constant grind. And like now, like to me, I'm not in grind mentality now. To me, I'm in work smarter, not harder mentality. Yeah, we're going to work hard and we're going to put our best foot forward. But if you can think smarter and you can get the proper things in place, because we've built the foundation's there. So like, working harder, you're going to work yourself to the bone, and you're not necessarily going to see anything
I think
back.
the grind is building
Smart.
that foundation.
Yes,
though.
the grind's there.
Once the foundation's
Yes.
built, then you can maneuver.
Yes.
But that
You have to.
that
There has to be some grind.
yeah,
It has to be in
foundation is
you. It
built
has to
from
be
the
in you.
grind, yeah.
It has to be in
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
Exactly where you're at with it. Like, it has to be there that you could tap in when you need it. But then once you get the grind done and you've got that like established, then you start thinking smart on like, all right, what can I do with my leverage, if you will?
Capitalize
On
what you've
everything.
built.
Exactly. And then once you're able to do that and you work there, then you'll start to see the wins come in easier than they ever did. You'll be like, whoa, I worked way too hard and I didn't get half this far. But then
But you needed that experience.
You had to have the experience.
That's the
You had to be
grind part.
humbled. You had to learn that you were going to get no's. There's going to be a lot of no's,
Lots of
a lot of
no's.
L's. And when you realize the L's not a loss but a learn, when you're learning from it, that once you get that mentality in, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people are young and they're like, oh man, I'm hot shit. I'm doing this. You see how many views I got on Spotify? Well, what they don't know is all these views are the people from high school. They're from college. They're not real. They're not real fans. They're friends.
Yeah.
And when you can translate them friends to fans, and it's a real view on someone that doesn't give a shit about anything but your
Right.
music. They don't care about your past. They don't care about your present. They don't care about your future. They just want to hear good music. That's when you really make it. Because yeah, it seems colder and it seems like it's harsher, but like, man, your friends can't pump you forever.
Nah.
They can't be that vein of blood forever. It just eventually it's going
And
to
you
run
can't
out.
expect it
You
either.
can't
Yeah,
expect
that's
it.
what I was gonna say.
Eventually you
can't
have to
expect,
understand.
like your friends to carry you. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually, like it's cool. You want your friends and your family and people to support you, but not everybody's gonna see that dream. You know what I mean? Like when I first started the studio, and I won't name names, but I have people in my immediate family and things like, you should go work this factory job, and then maybe if your studio pops off, then you can quit that. Like, no, I had to go all in on Plan A to make Plan A what Plan A is gonna be. You
I
know
had
what I mean? Like,
my own mother tell me that,
And-
bro. Like my own mom
and
was
it,
like,
you know, they say it from a caring place.
Of course.
And I understand that. But at the same time, you know, like they're not looking at the tunnel that you're looking at, and you see the end of the tunnel.
for sure.
They don't even see the tunnel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of like not let it personally hurt you, and you just gotta shake off any type of I won't say negativity because it's not coming from a negative place if it's from a caring person, but you just gotta shake off any disbelief. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? And you
Yes.
just gotta not let it affect you, and you gotta go hard for what you want.
Yeah,
And
like with my mom, man. Like it wasn't a part of like misbelief, but she was like, look, like, you know, I see how hard you work, and I see that you know the end result isn't what you want. She was like, why don't you work for another company that you can produce their logos for? And she's like, you're so good at doing that. And I was like, that's not the goal. I'm not
Right.
trying to make another brand
right, you
rich and famous. I'm trying to fucking make this brand pop off.
right.
You know what I mean? So like I understand what you're saying, but
Facts.
and it's going to be that there's going to be an easy resolution for now, but there's not longevity in that. I'm going to get fucked in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather grind it out on my own lane and
It's like it's gonna be
Try
a
to-
struggle either way, right?
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like
I'm
you're
either
gonna struggle, and to create something that, in the eyes of your boss, is gonna be cool, or it's gonna be a struggle to create something that you think is cool, but it's really the same amount of work.
Yeah.
It's just one's for you and one's for someone else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's not as much. It's
And-
not as good of a feeling of payoff when it's for somebody else.
Well, it's like
for
some,
sure.
Like,
some people like to, you know what I mean, go to work and leave work at home. And,
Clock out, bro. It would be
Yeah,
dope to be able to
out.
clock out at 5 and not have
you know what I'm
anything on your
saying?
mind.
Like some people like that. Then there's other people, which I consider myself an entrepreneur, and like I can't just stop work and work 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's not who I am. That's not what I'm trying to create. It's not a 9 to 5 thing. You know what I mean? And like, especially with the arts, with music and things, is like, you know, I could work 9 to 5, but like, how creative am I gonna be 9 to 5 every day
Right.
on a ritualistic
Yeah.
every day? This is that, and then 5 I clock out and I don't hit a note, I don't hit a drum, I don't sample nothing, I don't, you know what I mean? And
It's
then come back
over
the next day, yeah, it's over. That's my day.
Yeah.
I could never do that because like sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning and I got to go to the studio, and everybody, including the people that own the building my studio's in, like, that's weird. That's not weird to me though.
No,
like,
it's not.
I had that feeling hit me. I got to go do this now, and if I'm working for somebody else, that's not a possible thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's what makes me tick. So it's like I could never, beyond like survival, work for someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And first, like I said, some people that's not their thing. But for me, as a creator, I gotta have the freedom to create when that feeling hits me, not when I'm told like, this is your creative.
Yeah, you can
time.
come in at 9.
And that's
You can
good.
you can come in at 9 a.m. and
Like,
work that
oh,
out.
it's 9 p.m. and you got this hit song in your head. Wait till the morning to lay that down. Like, no, that's not how that works at
Yeah,
all. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
and they don't.
Like,
People don't understand that. And like the thing is, like, no one's gonna view your dream how you view your dream. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like
facts.
that's.
That's
I've been in the
facts.
car business for 5-6 years now, so I'm thinking to myself like, if I'm spending 60 hours on the lot, where could I have been by now if I wouldn't have did
Yeah.
that? You know what I mean? Like, but
Right,
I
right.
I look at it too. Like, I got a daughter. You know what I mean? So like, no matter what, I got to make ends meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to take care of her. But I always didn't have her. You know what I mean?
You said she was 4?
She's 4.
What's
she's
her
about
name?
to- Iviana.
Aviana?
So,
That's
yeah,
awesome. I have
she's
4
about to-
years old. Charlie is mine.
No, yeah, that's crazy. He said Charlie.
That's
earlier.
why I laughed. He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, he got it. But
Yeah, man. Like I look
She's
at it
the
all
boss
time.
here, really.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I just turned 30 in June, so it's like now I look at it like, if we would have been doing all of this over the last 5 years,
Yeah, thanks.
where would we be? If I would have taken the leap that I'm prepared to take right now, where would we be already?
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
you're
Like,
you're prepared to take the leap because you've put yourself in a financial
to
position
be
of
okay
strength.
to take the
You know what
leap.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like
yeah, you gotta be ready to jump.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. So like you might have thought this time prior would have been valuable to go ahead and leap out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have like any like if you don't have like the parachute, if you will,
Yeah.
if you don't have something there to really support you, because like so I mean I have a bachelor's degree. I went to college. I was playing music the entire time, trying to tour and trying to do it while being going to school and coming back for band practice twice a week and like really trying to push it. And it was metal, like so it's a harder thing to push than anything. No one cares about your metal band. It's just the way it is. So like they can't understand it in the first place. It's just a whole dynamic.
He's a screamer,
You-
bro. He's
Oh,
screamo.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I can do all that, but pushing that is very difficult. So I went with the route of I'm gonna market us rather than worry about them liking the music. So let's market our branding and let's make the clothing cool. So I made the clothing streetwear. I packaged, band was called Ocean Grid, but I packaged it as OG, and I kind of went with that route to get some streetwear vibes and like get people on, even though they may not be into the music, but if they like the merch, they're like, oh, I'll get them a chance here. I might find a song.
Buy into it.
Yeah. So it kind of like, that was my play on it, because I knew all my work up until that point, getting, music further, like nothing was sticking. I was like, I played bass in this band. We did some cool stuff. I was just like, it was fine, but like nothing seemed like, it felt like I'm working towards nothing. Even though I was working towards something, I was getting experiences.
It's hard to
work.
keep that.
Right?
Yeah, but you're like, you're not seeing anything happen. Yeah, like a few likes on Facebook and stuff and different things and some cool shares. But then I was like, you know what? I had this new band at that point, and I was doing vocals and really focused on branding. So I started personally messaging. I probably personally messaged 2,000 to 3,000 people on Facebook. Wow. I personalized it. Hey, Jessica, I see you're a fan of Black Veil Brides. Our drummer was actually once in Black Veil Brides. You love to check out our stuff. We sound like we came as Romans, blah, blah. I would type a message out, and then I would send it to Tim, and I would send it to Jennifer, and I would send it to, Brian, and I would just go, guy, girl, and I would just all the way down, because I would add everyone on Facebook, and I would personalize every message, and I did that from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m., like 5 days a week, and then we'd play shows, and I would do that every single day, and I was doing that for so long. Eventually, I started seeing stuff. I started seeing changes. I started seeing shows we did a headliner at Bogart's where about 500 people that were there, and but we were doing the headliner, and I was like, well, I don't really want us to be like the sole reason people come out. So a band out of Lexington who just got signed to a pretty big label, I was like, you know what? They just got signed. They're just now announcing it. Let's put them on the Bogart show and put them at top of the pyramid, so then that they can be like we'll co-host the show, but it looks like an elevated show because they're just getting signed and they're new. But really, it was our show. We put the whole thing together. The flyer and everything was built around us, making waves. It was Ocean Grid. That's the whole thing. But in my mind, I was like, you know what? It's not about us. We'll go further by stepping back. 100%. And that was kind of my mentality. All the hard work, and we're still stepping back to be the back behind somebody else. But it launched us so much further. At that point, I could literally book a show. I'd put us on a show with 3 days notice and bring 50, 60, 70 people, and they would just have found out about the show, but they would all come out. And every time I needed the show to be boosted at Madison Theater or Madison Live, or Backstage Cafe.
Used to be the spot.
Dude, Backstage Cafe next to it was also a really dope spot.
Yeah.
Yes, a little small spot.
That bar that had the little... It had that hook around back.
And there was the back room you could sit.
And shit.
Yeah.
That place is great.
We had shows there, and there was one time I had this one show, and I was like, man, this show is not. It has zero pre-sales, and I think we're gonna have maybe 5 people out. It's gonna be rough. I was hoping these guys would have a good show. One band was from out of town, so I tossed Ocean Grid on it with 3 days notice, and we packed the place out because I knew it was going to flop. And I was like, guys, can we just play the show? And they're like, yeah, we'll be there. So everyone came in. We brought all our equipment last second, and people just showed out because we posted it on the internet because of all the legwork that I was doing. The other guys were just playing the songs, going to practice, doing their thing. But in my mind, I was like, I need to do a lot of groundwork because I'm trying to building this up.
You got to build the foundation.
And then eventually someone created a street team for us, and then also we had a street team, and we had all these people doing stuff that I didn't even know that well, and people were just doing stuff for us. And it was before, and people started getting tattoos. I have 3 tattoos out there, my lyrics on them. Yeah,
which, by the way, the dark heart tattoo on the hand is fire, bro.
It was so fire, bro. Yeah.
I got that right after I started the label. It was I want something that's gonna stand out.
It's cool.
And be there forever.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Show the camera right here.
Where the camera at, right there.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a couple people with some native tattoos, man. So if you get
an ice cream cone, bro.
Oh, bro, we got
Tell them about that.
Somebody got an ice cream cone native tattoo on their nipple, bro.
Oh, this nipple,
So
that's cool. That would hurt,
bro. I felt so bad because he went to the tattoo artist with his girlfriend, and she was like, you shouldn't do this. And he went ahead and got the eyeball is his actual nipple, and then the cone is underneath it.
so bad.
Bro, it's and I don't even have a tattoo of one of my own designs yet. So like for the fact that other people are getting these tattoos is
It's
incredible.
love,
Huge, bro.
It's
Yeah,
love.
so if you get a tattoo 2 inches by 2 inches or bigger, you get 40% off in the store
For life.
There's 4 other people that
For
that
life.
got the
Like,
dark
call my
heart
people
tattoo
right now. Like,
that I know of.
Yeah, that's fire, bro.
So that's pretty life.
You need to give them discounts on
right.
studio
Yeah.
sessions because that's what we're doing. Because hypothetically, I would love to be able to get the clothes into Zoomies and then tell them, hey, there's 16 people with tattoos and these motherfuckers
They
are
still
one
get
of the
the deal,
reasons
yeah.
why the brand is where it's at. So these people, I want them to be able to get 40% off in your store. You know what I mean? Like that's a
VIP
goal.
program.
Yeah, bro. Like that's
Forever
a goal.
VIP program.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, cause that's something. If you're getting the tattoo on
Tattoos
you,
are forever, so the deal should be forever.
Yeah.
100%, bro. And the
Just think
fact
this
that
out.
like you like our logo enough that you want to get it tattooed on you, like I'm here for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah, that's
No,
dope.
that's dope.
Yeah, bro.
That's a good idea.
We're just punching away at the clock, bro. I'm waiting to get called to the majors, right? Like everyone looks at this and thinks that we've made it, and it's like,
Yeah,
bro.
no, you
No,
gonna
I
get
feel
there once
you.
you
We're
get there.
not even
it's-
close,
yeah,
player. I'm
Right.
like, until Native Brand is taking over 10% of all NFL and MLB
Right.
hats,
Yeah.
that's when I'll be satisfied.
biz.
Yeah,
Big
I just
biz.
want 10% of New Era's business. That's it,
Right.
bro. I'm not
big deal.
asking for a ton. I just want a little sliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know,
For
so
sure.
we'll get there.
It takes a lot of factors, I think, to get there. But where we're at is the ground level has so many people that just jump in and such a passionate because we bring so many collective creative people here. So the power is in numbers, and there's the creatives are just like they come in by the dozens here. Like every weekend we're having a conversation about the podcast and people wanted to be on the podcast and they would promote it, and they're like, and like that those conversations happen so frequently. To me it's like it's not an if but a win is how obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But like even further than that, when it time comes, when it hits that big league stance, if you will, there's going to be so many people that are going to run straight here to help the start of the boost.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
once you get the big league status, then they're like, all right, now it's time. Now the real work starts, guys. This is where we need to see the sales go up because we need to see all the work you've done. Let's get it going. And I think all the tribe, everyone in the part of the Native Brand community will come there real quick, and they will be by our sides, and it'll be a whole thing. And I can see it happening very, very soon because I mean we're about to make some cool moves here in 2024 that I'm excited about, and that those moves alone are going to be a huge component to the next year of the rest of our lives. Because man, like I said, it's not an if but a win. And all the legwork that you put in, all the bars that you went in to sell hats, all the backpack that you would show me that you'd empty when I was working the desk at the bowling alley. Just, hey, I sold all these hats here. I'm like, how did he do that? Like, he was only here like 2 hours. But, like, whatever, because I'm working the desk. I'm sober as a bone. Like, everyone's drunk on a Monday night when it's free bowling, $2
I'm gonna have
shots.
to get back to that, bro. Like
He would
like
come
I-
in with a backpack full
I
of
used
hats
to-
and just sell them all.
I used to just infiltrate every service industry night, like whether it was Mint, whether it was the bowling alley
Access Alley,
downstairs,
yeah.
like Access,
Yeah.
like in any service industry night, I would pop in and I'd have my backpack. I think we're good.
Look up. Yeah. Computer stuff. But yeah, he would.
Streamlabs closed completely. That was the first.
What happened?